didn't even focus on you for the slightest, to be honest with you, mate. I genuinely didn't. You flashed your lights, and me and Gary was like, "Oh fuck, it's Dan." We was too busy fighting G that I didn't. And then you didn't even pop into my head because you'd not been there all night, and then you span it pits, and I barely saw you by that one little bit.
I'm sorry, I had to deal with fucking penises to overtake.
I mean, I got through the pack relatively easy.
My teammate.
Yeah, D-Biggs has been a proper knob. I thought it was funny.
He spun me around a little shit.
Jamie, do you want to join us in the commentary box? There's a spare space.
Don't know, because I want to get a bit of practice in.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I argue.
Why? You got no one to beat.
Oh, you do know you're on your own tomorrow.
What, me?
Yeah, oh yeah. Liam goes a day early.
Oh, you do know you're. You got no one to beat. You got no one to defeat.
Oh, I ain't got Liam to take I ain't got Liam to take Gary out then. I'll have to give Sutty some money instead.
I mean, if you're willing to give me if you're willing to give me 50 quid, then I will not go to the wedding.
I'll be willing.
You'll be home before race starts.
I'm willing to give you nothing. You can still go to the wedding.
He'll go to the wedding, but he'll be back. He'll be back before lights out. You see?
I don't know.
I do.
I don't know. I've been texting Dan over the weekend. He didn't sound optimistic about it.
Nah.
He'll be there.
So missing possibly Dan tomorrow. D-Biggs, Liam.
No emo guy. No Keeks.
No Andy probably.
Andy will retire.
Oh, we're gonna have to postpone it.
You want, babe? Don't know, do you wanting your Chinese from last night?
I think we should postpone it a week.
I don't know.
No, I don't think we should.
Give me a coffee?
I do. You know, Grand Prix on. Like, Liam's not here. Obviously, the others won't be here. I'm not able to make it. You know, I think we should postpone.
I actually agree because
I'll be there.
We've postponed it for the football. Let's postpone it for the F1 because there's so many drivers missing.
The British Grand Prix, you know.
Any Grand Prix.
It's coming home.
Yeah, you don't
Lewis Hamilton's bringing it home. Oh no, wait, sorry. Lando Norris is bringing it home.
He's not.
Yeah,
he's
Lando for the win.
Well, I don't know if he's going to be in the right state of mind come Sunday.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it?
He'll be alright.
Did you hear, Dad?
Yeah, I heard about it.
Yeah.
Fucking English fan bullshit, innit?
Wankers.
Wankers, man.
Stole £40,000 fucking watch off him.
Just because they lost a game.
Yeah, but the problem is they can't sell it or wear it anywhere because it'll instantly just get spotted.
Yeah,
no,
but
the thing is,
Neanderthal morons don't think that way when they're pinching things.
We don't know if it is the football fans, but it gives the football fans being fucking knobheads gives muggers and thieves an opportunity to fucking nick shit. I bet Lando shat his pants. To be fair.
Oh, I bet he did. 21-year-old going to watch his country play a game of football. Come out at game they've lost and get mugged.
Plus, like Lando's like a I don't know. It's like kicking a puppy, innit? Do you know what I mean? He's like so kind of cute and innocent.
I shouldn't laugh, but that was funny. That was
no, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. He's one of them lads that's just.
He ain't got a nasty bone in his body from what I've seen.
It'd be like mugging Liam. Like mugging the spastics.
It's just I don't know about that.
And I'm only going to give Liam a slap over the weekend for his own good. Do you know what I mean? It is purely, for his own growth,
Or teabagging.
I hope you fucking
slap him. I'll
if you
pass
slap
it
him,
that.
make sure it's fucking recorded so I can see you slap him.
I'll just give him a wet willy.
Neither of them, Dan, thank you. Well...
Watch the rain.
We'll see. I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Sure, BT Target
do some
is
testing in a minute.
Oh yeah, for what was it? For go-karting, I am probably going to come up on my moped.
Nice.
What's that? So you feel the power when you get in the go-kart?
No, my bike's faster than a go-kart now.
Eh?
My bike's faster than a go-kart now. It does 60 now.
60? Amazing.
Holy shit.
60?
Mm.
Yeah. Usually then I pull second gear in the car.
Is that kilometres an hour, is it?
Have you seen the weather for tomorrow, Dan?
Miles an hour.
Is it wet? Please tell me it's wet. But Matt,
Yeah.
Matt, is it wet? Matt!
Oh, no wedding.
Bone dry.
Bone dry.
What?
Absolutely 2% chance of rain. Bone dry.
No rain tonight, is there?
Nah, no rain tonight neither.
You had me fucking excited for a minute then.
I know I did. It was good, wasn't it?
Because I think that's Jamie's Achilles heel. That Audi isn't very good in the wet.
Isn't very good in the wet yet. I won in the wet too, though.
Yeah, but you fucked up.
Yeah.
You fucked up in race 1 after leading it.
Yeah, that's
All
a fair
on your
point.
own.
That's a fair comment.
That is a fair comment.
And you paid your
And at
teammate to
Hockenheim.
reverse into Gary and take him out, and that's how you wouldn't.
And at Hockenheim.
That's another fair comment.
To be fair, I didn't really.
After
to
Dan
be
and
fair, I
D-Biggs
didn't.
ballsed up in the second race as well.
I didn't get really to do any other wet at Hockenheim because my internet had already gone.
Did you see what I said to Smithy yesterday? By the way, Liam, Jamie, in that chat.
No.
Let me find it. Let me find it. I mentioned Kelly.
Oh yeah, famous.
What was that?
So Smithy put, listen to you'll be lucky to get past me, and if you do, I'm allowed to accidentally take you off track like I did Gary last time. No Matthew Duffin checks after the race here. Went, haha, no, I'm not a steward for this one. If I crash, I can film and commentate it. Won't be that bad of a crash. They normally accidental, not deliberate. I went, oi, don't roll me like you did, Kelly.
Yeah.
Oh, bless you.
Bless him. If he rolls me tonight, I'm going to go and find him and stick my Porsche right up his arse.
If he rolls you tonight, oh, Kelly's coming karting, look.
I've signed up a
Yeah.
an interesting event that the SimZone are doing.
Yeah.
It's called the Showdown in the United Kingdom.
British tracks.
Yeah, race 1, Brands GP in the Ford Mark 5, whatever that says. Sorry, Mark 4. I think that's Escort.
Mark 4 Escort? Jesus
I think so.
Christ. Fucking thing will rot out before it gets to the end.
Brands Hatch GP. Race 2 is some sort of road circuit in the BMW M1 Pro car.
Bannock Bray.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one.
Oh God.
And race 3, Silverstone GP and the Radical SR8 RX.
Right.
That's gonna be fun.
Good luck with that one.
I've also signed up to Cleos and touring cars again.
When's touring car start, Dan?
Good question.
Good. It
Start
was a good
back
question.
up at the end of the month.
Yes, I did want to talk to you about this. I will not be commentating on SimZone.
Right.
Just going to focus on me. I just want to focus on my own shit, Kelly. Motive and that last time, it took up in a couple extra nights. I just rather focus on my own channel, and as much as I want to help you and Dan out, I don't know. I just can't do it. I know G's. It seems like he's turned over a new leaf, but I don't know. I don't feel like I want to do it and shit go down the same way and shit. So I'd just rather focus. I spoke to you about it the other week, Dan, didn't I? And I've had time to think about it and stuff, and I'd just rather focus on SimPlay than SimZone and other bits and help other guys out. Like if there's a special event on and he's short, I might do it, but yeah.
Okay.
1st of August.
It's a shame, but yeah.
Yeah, no,
I
I just want to focus on our league and getting our league a bit better and working on our league and stuff, and we've got new things coming up that we're doing and other bits. So we've had a lot of admin changes recently, and yeah.
Well, if I was you, Matt, I'd let G know.
Yeah, I'll
I'll
drop G a message after tonight.
Make sure he knows, because obviously he needs to get everything sorted.
No, yeah,
organised.
I
We
won't
need to
drop him in
find-
the shit like Andy. I'll drop him a text after tonight. And
We'll need to find another commentator to replace you.
Oh, Well, he's irreplaceable, Dan.
I don't know about that.
Fuck you.
Right, I'm gonna accept my.
Hey! You fucking be nice to me, Matt.
I'm being nice to you.
Guess what?
Because
Yes.
do you want me to do F1? Do you want me to do F1?
If you can do it, I'd love you to do it. If you can't, that's fine. I understand.
Wow. Learn to lick my arse then.
Well, on that note, I'm going to go and have a little nervous wee before we start.
Wee? Is that it? You're not pumped for tonight?
No, just a little wee.
No, you're clearly not pumped. You
No,
know
you're
when
right.
you know when the
Right,
nerves are hitting is when you have a full blown diarrhea shit.
Yeah.
No, I haven't none of that.
Yep.
Just a little wee.
I have a diarrhea shit every Thursday.
When you get stuck on the toilet during a 24-hour event, that's when you know shit is real.
Up. Shut the fuck up. You see the race that Green Pies and the Wall
Yeah,
did, right?
I did. Yeah, watched a bit.
The Wall won LMP2 because Green Pie's got a fucking drive-through at the start of the race, and he then got hit by one of the GTEs and lost the wheel and lost like 3 laps or something.
Oh dear.
But then they had to reset the server because something went down. So he then leaded most of the race, and then they went back and how many laps they'd done, and Green Pies finished second behind the Wall. The Wall was just so consistent. I was like, the Wall was like, don't tell him, but I won, and I was like, I could have won that. I should have done it, really. But if we did another 24-hour race, I want to do LMP1 next time. I want to win the overall. When? Yeah.
When we do another
When?
24 hour.
We are doing another 24-hour.
I'm going on my own. I'm going on my own this time.
Hey, good for you.
24-hour
LMP1.
go-karts round Le Mans.
Yeah.
No, Monaco.
Get 3 laps in.
Get
24
laps
hour
in, yeah.
Yeah, 24-hour go-karts around the track at Beccles. There we go.
Monaco.
Monaco. 24 hours in Monaco.
24 hours, LMP1. LMP1, Brands Indy.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking no way.
24 hours of Texas Motor Speedway road course.
24 hours of Bathurst.
24 hours of Ruda Easter.
I fucking hell, yeah.
I think Bathurst would be harder.
I was going to say,
I am tempted to do the
Bathurst,
12-hour Bathurst race.
Yeah,
I'd be for Bathurst. I'd do it.
What, GT3 and GT4?
Yeah, 8 of each.
It's 12 hour.
I'll do it.
Yeah, that'd be
I'll do
alright.
it. I'm keen.
Yeah, I'd do Bathurst.
I'm tempted to make that my next one, to be fair. Instead of doing a 24-hour one this time, just a 12-hour one.
12 hours of Bathurst.
Well, I figured out why Liam isn't the best at racing. I video called him last night because I wanted to see something he would try and show me, trying to describe to me. And his monitor is to the left of his sim rig because of the way his bedroom is, because he can't have it. So he's like looking at like I'd say 10 o'clock to look at his monitor while he's racing.
Oh Jesus Christ!
What?
Because of where, because he can't put his sim rig right in front of his telly, he can't have his wheel right in front of his telly. So he's at like 10 o'clock. So it's like,
That's bizarre.
that is fucking mental.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's what mine would end up like.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, I mean, there's a win on tonight. Look, Liam, where are you? You fucking career. Oh, did you see that? Dan, I'm going to send you a picture that Liam sent me earlier. I'm sending Dan the picture you sent me earlier of your delicious pizza. Dan Davis, send. Do you know what? Where's Kelly? I'll send it Kelly. Kelly Davis, send. That's exactly what Beth said. That is exactly what Beth said.
Wait,
A brownie. A brownie.
You know the troll out of Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks like the inside of his asshole.
Liam, start a party, me and you.
I don't think it's that bad actually.
I
You would
mean,
eat
that's
that?
just that's the pizza what it looks like after it's been in the oven for an hour without forgetting.
That's what it's meant to look like.
What did Beth said it was a brownie.
Good luck, everyone.
Beth said it was a brownie, and then her friend turned around and said, "Oh, it's a weed brownie, and it's one that we're weed in it." And I was like, "Fucking knowing Liam at the minute, probably is." Right, best of luck, people. Yeah, speak to you later. Love you all. Bye bye. Bostock. Get your ass in.
I'm getting on. I was halfway through. I was eating my dinner and then I forgot all about it. I was too busy talking about fucking F1.
Dean is running 10 minutes late, apparently. Don't care. Dean's running 10 minutes late, even though he's got fucking Project Cars on. You probably are. Probably did. That wasn't a pizza, worry. It was a drug brownie. Right.
It was.
I'll be back in 5 minutes. I'm going to go back to the toilet.
Vegans in disguise. July 15th. Tomorrow.
I could order things. Well, this is going to be an interesting fucking race tonight at the minute, isn't it?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Fucking good lord. Nah, people don't. You won't bail out of a championship just because of the track, would you? Mazda's a dickhead, though, isn't he? Let's be fair. Mazda's a dickhead. I don't think they actually would have done. Because you've got to, yeah, I know what you're saying, but you've got to think about it. Why would you bail on a championship when you can gain points if other people are going to bail? You know what I mean? If you think other people are going to bail, you turn up. You turn up, you win the race. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, we'll see how my back is, mate. See how my back is, because obviously I'm sitting down for the next couple of fucking hours in this chair, so we'll see. Window lap 7. Oh, I haven't even shared the fucking stream around. Fuck's sake. Maybe a right there. Bang, bang, bang. 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 Post. No Aiden tonight. Yeah. Oh, fuck's sake. No Aiden, no Alfie, no BT Targa. No Kieran. No Kieran. He's on holiday, isn't he? 4 people back next week, I think. Back at this weekend, I think. Yeah, we've got 7 drive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drivers on the grid at the minute. Dean's going to be 10 minutes late. I don't know where DJ Phil is. I don't know where Don is. DJ Phil and Dean's got Project Cars on. Don't know where they are. Alright, DJ Phil's just texted me. He's on his way. Stealth Sloth will probably be late.
Leon Fernie might not turn up.
I've not invited him.
Have you not? Okay.
No, not bothering with him anymore. There should be 15 drivers.
Alfie's not coming, is it?
No, Alfie's not racing. 15 drivers. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Phil on his way. That's 8.
Yeah, all you need to do is take how many's in the session. Take 2 instead of counting them up every time. Not to be cocky.
Kieran's on holiday. Alfie's at work apparently.
Dean's in session, by the way.
Yeah, I've just saw. Alfie's at work. Aiden's not racing. BT Targa's got tickets to the golf, so he's away. Well, I mean, Alfie every year says, "Oh, I want to win this championship. Oh, I want to get promoted. Oh, I want to do this. I want to do that," and then fucking never turns up. Oh, there's Stove Sloth, he's just got himself in. There's Phil. So what's that, 10?
11, 9. Because you have to take 2 off of the 11, making it 9.
9 drivers.
What, an out of 16?
15.
15, so...
Oh, there's Nicky. Half. So that's 10.
Here we go.
So we're just over halfway. So, Ariel.
I thought Ariel's internet's fucked.
I don't know, he should have had it done by now. He said he'd moved house and he'd not had it fitted, so I'd imagine he'd have had it done by now.
In fact, I know someone else. What about NJ? Oh, he's in
NJ's
session.
in.
Yeah, I was going to say he's in.
NJ's in.
What is the Thrustmaster equivalent to a Logitech G29? I don't know. I wouldn't say so, but...
No, I wouldn't say so. I'd say the Logitech's a bit better.
No, I think he's saying in terms of which... Well, no, maybe which one's better, but I mean... in difference of how they feel. I mean, when I went on your Logitech, it felt a lot different the way the Thrustmaster did.
No Don.
No Don, lovely.
No Don. Okay, now.
Nothing much we can do. Just gotta let it happen.
Yeah. Bullshit. Absolutely bullshit.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh well.
Something that happens though, innit?
Fucking honestly. Yeah, but 10 drivers tonight. What, 12 drivers tomorrow? Right, we're gonna go live. Have a coffee. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to SimPlay Motorsport here for round 17 and 18 of the Pro-Am series and the Pro Series, if for that matter, as well. Tomorrow night, we're live here in the French city of Le Mans at the Le Mans Bugatti circuit then for round 17 and 18. It's going to be an interesting night tonight, going to be an interesting battle to see who can do what. First time here at Le Mans, so it is going to be an interesting one indeed to find out. I'm Matthew Duffin, as always, your commentator, and I'm joined in the commentary box once again by that Bozzy boy, Liam Bostock. Liam, how are you?
I'm good, Matthew. How are you today?
Very well, thank you. Obviously, you're not with us tomorrow night. Obviously, it's Silverstone yourself, as is Don Biggs and KLF 900. He'll be at Silverstone this weekend, so a few missing tomorrow night and a lot missing tonight. 6 drivers in total. 5 drivers in total missed. We only have 15 drivers. No Alfie, no Kieran, no Don Productions, no Aidan Bennett, and no BT Targa. He's away as well. So 10 drivers for you tonight. Going to be a bit of a quiet one, but we'll do our best to give you the best commentary as always. I'm going to give you the championship standings here tonight. And at the moment, Fury leads the way on 335 points, 99 points clear of KLF 900. 208 points left in the title battle at the minute. 52 of them will go tonight. Can Fury possibly do the unthinkable and maybe win that title tonight? 99 points is the gap, and we'll lose 52 tonight. I don't think he's going to outscore Kelly by that much with the little drivers on the grid. But hey, maybe one hand on the title going into next week at Laguna Seca. X-Mark then in P3, tied with Nicky at the moment, so it'll be interesting to see who leads the way out of them two. Argent then in P5 with Don Productions in 6th, BT Targa 7th, and NJ in 8th. NJ still just mathematically in for the championship, but if Fury outscores NJ by 2 points, that'll be his game done. DJ Phil Green then behind him. Then Daniel Francis, Dean Wasocki just hit the 100 points mark. Smithy ahead of Alfie, Stelsloff, Aiden and Leon Fernie. In the Constructors' battle then, it's Forever Forward Racing, 78 points ahead of Team Prolapse. But Kieran Argent on holiday tonight means that there's only one Forever Forward driver, so can Team Prolapse edge closer to Forever Forward in that battle? Team Pro Lassie then are third ahead of Ready Set Go, who are 1 point ahead of Team Cool Runnings of NJ and Smithy, so a little battle there for P4 between Ready Set Go and Team Cool Runnings. Lone Wolf Motorsport and then MC Motorsport, Piston Broke and AA 3D Printing. Can Piston Broke, sorry, that's not right, Piston Broke are actually ahead of MC Motorsport. For some reason the table is slightly out of date, but MC Motorsport are behind Piston Broke, so I do apologise about that one. And that is that then here tonight. Liam, Fury then one hand on the title going into this one. What are we thinking coming into this race tonight? Is it pretty much over?
It's a bit of a hard one. It could be, it couldn't be. It's just all determines on how well tonight goes.
I mean, he's got obviously 4 weeks left of racing here. He's pretty much got this title, hasn't he? I mean, Kelly's done a great job to keep him there, but it is pretty much looking the way of Fury.
Yes, indeed it is.
Apologies about that. My son just came up to ask a question. What was you saying, Liam?
Sorry, I was talking to someone as well. Yeah, it is. But like I said, you just find out tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to see then as we go forward in the night. X-Mark currently setting the pace. Difficult track, the Le Mans Bugatti circuit. It looks like it's going to be a tough one for some of these drivers, Liam. You've had a tough experience in practice yourself. It doesn't seem a track that a lot of people that we've heard around the scenes here at SimPlay are getting on with.
No, it's a very hard one. As
it's Fury there. Yeah, just losing the car.
Well, yeah, it's a fairly hard track, but you're racing to do tracks like this. Some tracks you're not gonna like, some tracks you are gonna like. It's just something that happens in racing.
Indeed it is then. Evening to Daniel Francis, Ian Thompson, Kieran Argent, The Wall, Fury's granddad as well in the chat. Good evening to everybody watching. 8 people currently watching at the moment. Hopefully we can get a few more in as the night rolls on. Fury's granddad saying it's not over till the fat lady sings, Matt. Dunno. Hey, let's all be an England fan and think we've won it after one game. Sorry, got to get that little dig in there. Obviously we missed last week, we postponed it due to the England game, and what a waste of time that was, because they didn't even bring the trophy home as everybody kept telling us they was going to do. But what we have got though is Fury possibly bringing it home, and Team Prolapse gaining on them in the Constructors' Championship. Daniel Francis then, not really had many podiums here at SimPlay Motorsport. Could he be on, with the little drivers on this grid, could he be on for his first podium tonight?
It's a possibility, as we've seen. Daniel Francis can do okay, fairly okay, should I say, in that Mercedes. But it's just, can he keep it together with obviously not being as many drivers on the grid tonight? Maybe he could just grasp at a podium as.
One car I'm interested to see do something tonight is the McLaren. What can that McLaren do? It's not a circuit for these power cars. The smaller car could do a bit round here tonight. So keep your eyes on Dean and DJ Phil. Currently not yet set a time of them two. But what can they do? This is going to be the question. Fury's kind of got a lot further than I expected, Matt, as you know. Yeah, I do know that one. I'll let you off. Daniel Francis, not a podium with driving like that, he says. As here's Nicky. Took a good double points round the other week. He's pretty capable of doing a few things. What can he do? That is the big question tonight. He's tied for third with X-Mart at the moment. And just to say as well, nobody taking double points tonight. So for them drivers who aren't taking double points tonight, they are then forced excuse me, to take their double points next week. So we've got Aidan Bennett, we've got NJ, we've got BT Targa, who will all have to take their double points next week. You have to take them by the 10th track of the season, which is Laguna Seca next week. Then them guys have to take their double points. So no double points on play tonight, Liam. Maybe a few drop scores for drivers who aren't here, but what are we expecting from tonight's show? What car are you tipping to do quite well around here?
I mean, it's hard to put it past, obviously, people on pole which are in the Mercedes. It's hard to put it past them, but with you saying obviously not much of a power track, I think the McLaren is something you could look at.
Indeed it is. We'll have to see what the pace of that McLaren can do in just a moment when it is out on track, as DJ Phil is at the moment. Currently 13 people watching, 10 likes, guys. Brilliant if you could share the stream around, get the people in, get the likes in. Let's have a great chat in the chat as well. Let's get you guys talking. Get your predictions in. and let us know what you think's going to happen as the night goes on. People for that dive, give yourself a chance, Daniel. And I think Daniel always NJ in the background there just off as he goes into the pit lane. I think Daniel's got as good a chance as anybody as BT Targa, X Martin Fury and Daniel. As we see so often, Liam, in the practice and the qualifying sessions, the 3 Mercedes dominating the performance at the minute, and then they go back. There's about a 2.5 second gap back to Nicky. So at the minute, the Mercs showing that they are quite nifty round here.
Yeah, obviously we all know any car can do a 1-lap pace. It's just stringing them laps together consistently, and well, we can't see if they're doing it consistently at the minute, but it shows the pace of the Mercedes, but they just need to string those laps together.
It is going to be an interesting one as we go through the evening then, and like we say, get your questions in the chat, get your comments in. Let's hear from you. Let's see what you thought about the racing tonight, about the racing we had on Monday night. We're title back on in the GT5s between myself, D-Biggs and Unorthodox. 5 points separate the top 3. Let us know if you saw the GTEs at the weekend as well on Friday night. Obviously the news on Friday night coming that IndyCar will be coming soon on a Friday night to fill in after the GTEs are done. So IndyCar coming your way on a Friday night, and Renault Clio's coming on a Monday night as well, shortly in a couple of weeks' time after the GT5s are done. Now then, for you guys in the pits, Dean hasn't yet got a time set. Neither is DJ Phil, as here is the McLaren, the yellow and black. McLaren, will we see any McLarens on this grid next year? That's going to be a question.
Yes, it is. It's obviously we both speak to Dean, and he's not looking to be persuaded by the McLaren for next season, but anything can happen within the next month or so, or however long the off season is. 4
weeks left of this season, and then we've got a bit of a step till the off season, as DJ Phil's just gone 7th, not far behind Smithy, but quicker than NJ and Stove Sloth at the moment. KLF currently 4th, then he split Nicky and Dan as Stove Sloth there getting that rear end, stepping out all over. And I wonder if Stove Sloth's going to go back to the Lamborghini next year. No, Lamborghini's on the grid this season, so will he be back in the Lamborghini next year? We'll have to wait, or next season should I say, we'll have to wait and see for that one then. But at the moment we have 9 minutes left of this practice session, and it is X-Mark from Fury, from Daniel Francis, from KLF, from Nicky, from Smithy, DJ Phil, NJ, Stove Sloth and Dean not yet set a time. Kelly though, purple and purple on this lap, and that'll be why he's apparently set session best sectors, and then goes P3, so he's not done session best, but improving his time and has separated them 3 Mercedes at the top here, Liam. Kelly then looking like his pace could be a little decent as we head into this first qualifying session, and could he upset Daniel Francis by maybe making that Porsche the 3rd car for the podium?
Yeah, it's a possibility. Obviously we all want anyone to do well, and like other week we had Smith who did well, and we have those ones that you don't usually see up there go up there, and we all love it. But yeah, it's one that could happen. It's just we've got to see in the race if Daniel Francis can keep it together, and same with Kelly as well.
Indeed, that is rightly so. What will happen as we go through the evening? 16 people watching, guys. Hit that thumbs up button. Let's hear from you in the comments box as well. Let's hear from you, even if you're new to the channel. Let's hear you say pop up and say hello and where you're from and everything. It's going to be nice to see you. Come on, Kelly, keep up the podium tonight. Fury's mum will be here soon, says Fury's granddad. That's another one in cheering Fury on. The Fury massive. They always travel well to Fury's mum and Fury's granddad. They're always there. They're brilliant to see. So then, Liam, obviously a few drivers missing tomorrow night. Yourself is one of them. 2 real big title contenders tomorrow night that are missing. In maybe Dan might be at a wedding, and as we know, D Biggs is travelling to Silverstone tomorrow for the Formula 1 this weekend. That is really going to change the way of the championship going into the final couple of weeks. Gary, as we know, pulled a few points back, and there's 3 points that now separate the top 3. But what is going to happen if Dan does miss tomorrow, with D Biggs not there as well? Gary could really capitalise and score some great points.
Yeah, it's like anything. People have their own things they need to do, and no problems with that and whatnot. But then you have your title fights and whatnot, and this is one where you're like, oh no, kind of need to be there, but obviously can't be helped because of obviously you need to split your personal life with obviously the racing life as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be one that Daniel, obviously there's a few people missing sight with holidays and works and events that are on, but obviously it's part of life, isn't it, at the end of the day, especially now the world's going back to normal. But you do want to...
being nearly the summer holidays as well.
Yeah, exactly. But can't think these things can't be helped. But I'm sure Dan will be wanting to make sure he's out there on the track and able to fight for his championship. As we say, an evening to Monkey Boy, who's in the chat now. Regular in the Pro Series, I suppose the defending Pro-Am champion, we could say, for 4 more weeks at least, or for maybe just 2 more weeks, the rate of which Fury is going at the minute. Stealth Soft's improved his time to go P8. Daniel Francis backs out of that lap there then, so Stealth Soft has improved his time to go P8. Here's KLF after Daniel Francis has gained some time as well to go back into P3. Stealth Soft then doesn't seem to have enjoyed the Porsche this year, Liam, does he?
No, but I mean, you could say the same about the Audi. For me, people just choose a car and sometimes it just doesn't work out, obviously, through the season. Obviously, you've got next season to just go, right, going in this, don't like that, sort of.
It is the way, isn't it? Obviously, you test your cars before the season, you have to make a choice as a team of what you're going to be in, and it's always difficult to see what you're doing wrong or what you're doing right. You know, obviously Joe in the Pro got promoted from Pro-Am. I've just seen Joe, I was using him as an example because I've just seen him in the chat. Tested a few cars as we saw in the off-season, Liam, didn't he? Decided stick to what he knows in the Porsche with Welshie. Whereas yourself, you chose that Audi, Stealth Soft chose the Porsche, we know Welshie chose the Porsche, and it just may not suit them sort of drivers. And have you felt that that's a big thing this season, going from the Porsche with Joe in Pro-Am for season 1 and 2 to the Audi as a bit of a risk? Do you kind of wish you'd have stuck with that Porsche maybe for your first year in the Pro?
In a way, I could say yes. In another way, I'd say no. As much as it would have been a safer bet for me being like, know the car for 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Sometimes you like to spice it up.
Yeah, and you know, I get that. You know, drivers get that, but obviously yourself, you tested a few cars in the off season, didn't you? And you and Jamie decided the Audi. Do you wish though you had stayed Porsche, or do you think, I could have changed to a different car? As Monkey Boy says, I've dusted off the trophy. Definitely not here, says Monkey Boy. Welshie, evening, old disco, but disco face, evening to you. He'll be out on track tomorrow night. Evening to Joe as well. I don't know if we said evening to Joe, but evening to Joe. Evening to the only G as well, who says Kelly in the chat. And evening to that Bozzy Boy, which is yourself, Liam.
Yes, indeed it is. And also to answer your question, now I wouldn't like to have maybe gone to it though. I think as much as, like I say, spicing it up, it's better to get into something else. It obviously gives you your different racecraft and whatnot, so you know in your other cars. Yeah. To spice it up, but on the other side it's not. Yeah.
You want to learn other cars and maybe try and improve and step away from what you know, don't you? And not be in that position come out your comfort zone and maybe try something that you think, I could be quicker in this car. And obviously you have to decide as a team, don't you?
Oh yeah, that's the biggest part of the GT3. You have your team, so it's not like you want to be in this, so you can't say I want to be in the the Porsche, but your teammate don't like it. You need to go onto some level ground.
Yeah. If Monkey Boy's still there, you need to agree as a team, don't you, Monkey Boy? Just like season 1 of what car you want to drive. As we are coming towards the end of this practice session, then 2 minutes left. X-Mark, Fury, DJ Phil, NJ, and Dean still in the pits. It's Daniel Francis here, just getting in the rear, stepping out. We are on board with Nicky. Stealth Soft has improved to 5th fastest. Nicky then currently down in P6 and not running his usual self. Is he maybe holding a bit back for qualifying? 20 people watching, guys. Let's hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you are new as well, and tune in for more action like this tomorrow night as we head to Le Mans Bugatti again for the Pro Series. Can the two-time champ regain his title lead? Can Dan turn up from his wedding to do anything about it? What can Jamie do is another question as well. Who else will be up there? Peaceful, Monkey Boy maybe, the Acoras. Can Sutty get on the front row of the grid again? We'll have to wait and see tomorrow night. But at the moment as well, Liam, we've got the end of this session as Nicky crosses the line and does improve. He goes 1.5 quicker to take him to a 1:39.6, so not yet on that pace. Join us Friday night as well for the GTs around Zolder. Obviously Liam, you'll miss that one as well, but the GTs around Zolder. Can on Orthodubs keep up his winning record? Can G get back on the pack for that one? Can Valeside do anything about the G and the only G and on Orthodubs in that one as well? Let's wait and see. As Smithy's about to cross the line here, he'll get time in for one more lap. He improves slightly as well, Liam. A lot of times here, just starting to improve as this race goes on.
Yeah, obviously, coming to the end of a session, your track's up to it. Well, your tyres, should I say, are up to temperature with the track. It's a bit wide from Smithy there, but yeah, your tyres are up to temp. Obviously, track would have warmed up or whatever. Got your rubber on it. Obviously with all your cars on there and whatnot, so maybe this is where you're obviously going to get all your times and whatnot. One
man who's struggling tonight, Liam, is NJ Smith, his teammate currently in the pit, 6.999 seconds off the back of the pack, so he is struggling a little bit tonight and it isn't looking like he's able to get a lot of his pace in this one at the minute. Maybe holding something back or maybe just struggling with a circuit. We'll have to wait and see, but this man separated by just about 0.08 of a second from Xmart as he's on his final run of this session. There's a few drivers coming back to the pits, a few drivers coming towards the end of their lap. Fury will be the last one to finish his lap. It's close at the top two, isn't it?
Yeah, well, this is the kind of stuff we as commentators and obviously you guys as viewers like to see, obviously, all your action and whatnot, because you don't sit down to watch, obviously, you're boring just a car around the track. You're here to see cars pass, see championships be that close you can put like a needle between them.
Indeed so, as Stoslov crosses the line and stays P6 and in his practice session at the moment. KLF will not be the next one to finish. That will be not quite sure who that is. Someone's coming down the pit lane either way, but KLF will be the next one to finish then. He's not coming in here. He's not on a great lap here, is Kelly. He's not on the green sectors on my phone. It's white from him, and he does improve in the end. Does a green final sector. So KLF putting it up just ahead, 2 tenths ahead of Daniel Francis's Fury. Very squarely out the final corner, and put it on P1 by just 3 tenths of a second in the end. In that one then. So then Fury then leading the way in the practice session. We're going to get right into qualifying here. 10 drivers. How many starts is Daniel Francis on? He says in the chat. Let's have a look. Daniel Francis is on 40 starts. So he's 10 away from making his 50th appearance. No 50th appearance tonight from any of these guys. The closest one in the Pro-Am is Aidan Bennett, 39, but he's obviously not here tonight to make that one up. Alfie then just behind him, and then Smithy will be on to 37 as well after tonight. But there is a 50th appearance maker this week. I think you and Jamie said it on Monday night. Rabbit Joe, if he's still in the chat, Rabbit Joe will make his 50th appearance tomorrow night in race 2. Back to normal next Wednesday, I hope, says Peaceful Stepdad. Hopefully so. Then as plenty of drivers making their 50th. Fury though is out for that Jamie Brazier title, a record of 12 wins in a season. He's on 10. Can equal that record tonight with 2 wins here. So next week, 3 races left after. 3 weeks left after this. If he equals Jamie's tally tonight with BT and Xmart with BT back next week and maybe a bit of a fuller grid, can he break that record? He can equal it. No doubts he can equal it, and I bet you bottom dollar that he could possibly equal it tonight, Liam. What's your reckoning on that one?
Yeah, it is a possibility. You can't take it away, obviously, to say he's nearly on Jamie Brazier's, and let's be honest, during season 1 it would be about 30 seconds up the road after turn 1, but to be where he is in terms of obviously how close he is to Jamie Brazier's win record during season 1, he must be happy with it.
Yeah, he's got to be happy with his achievement of equaling that record tonight. As we see Dean Wasocki hit the track for the first time, so not getting out there in the practice session, and is straight out there now for this one then. Wasting no time at all getting out there. About a 1 minute 30 a lap, 1 minute 36 a lap. It's a 19 lap race. Pit window will be lap 7. And Dean Wysocki, what can he do tonight? The only man still in the pits is DJ Phil. Now, we've said this a lot this season, Liam. The 10-minute qualifying, the short qualifying, it's important to get out there and get these laps in. And Phil's done this a lot where he's held back a bit, and it's really not helped him in qualifying. DJ Phil's Q1, his average qualifying position is P11. Now, he can better that tonight because there's no 11 guys on the grid, so he might up his average, lower his average a little bit tonight. He's got a best of 7th. Can Phil get 7th tonight? Can he get better tonight? We're having a look elsewhere. Daniel Francis has 2 pole positions to his name. Fiore leads the way with 5. 1 for Argent, 1 for KLF, 1 for Nicky, 1 for NJ, 3 for BT Targa as well. So he's really done the bits. BT Targa and Xmart have an average qualifying of 4th place, but the man to watch is Fiore. Never been off the front row of the grid in qualifying 1. What a record that is. Brilliant sort of record from Fiore. Either 1st or 2nd in Q1. He doesn't do 3rd places.
No, and anyone would be ecstatic with something like that. I know personally I would. I don't know about you, Matt, but being able to do a record like that is amazing, especially for a 24 race season, if I'm correct. Yeah. With a season like that, and if he can get that to the end, that would be an achievement and a half.
It will be. It'll be absolutely brilliant for him then, as we head and see Daniel Francis about to cross the line to start in fact, now to put the first time on the board, a 36.7. So Daniel Francis there, right out the gates with a decent banker lap in. Now what can he do as he keeps going forward then? There's a couple of cars about to cross the line, but we're on board with Nicky at the moment as Xmart beats that one by a 10th. So, by 700ths of a second. NJ then has gone P3, NJ has gone P3 at the moment in time. And Daniel Francis currently now P2, but we're on board with Nicky so far. Stosoft drops it into P4, a couple of seconds off the back of NJ there. What can Nicky do? Didn't look like he had great pace in the practice session. Does a 39.6, still some 3 seconds off that pace of Dan and Xmart. Smithy then goes into 4th. What can DJ Phil Green do here himself? KLF's has only gone 7th, so not the best out first lap for him, as DJ Phil then, that was his out lap, so setting the banker lap there. Dean Wysocki's coming to the end of his lap, as is Fiore. We'll stick with Fiore, who's coming towards the final couple of corners. Massive cuts on that lap from Dan, says Disco in the middle. Chicane, says Disco in the chat there. Obviously the drivers need to stick to the curb, stick between the 2 white lines there, as Fiore then crosses the line and doesn't post a time. So what can Dean Wysocki then do? Green and green in his sectors. No purple sectors from him at the moment. And he's lost it out the final corner, and that is really going to hurt Dean then as we go back to Smithy. No driver on a purple sector, they're all setting green times at the moment then. We are down to 4 minutes 50 and NJ's in the pits as Daniel Francis has come back out. Everybody on green sectors at the moment, they're all improving on that. You sometimes get that, don't you? Your second lap is always better than your first. Your tyres are up to temperature a bit more and they're ready to go then as Smithy then, as Daniel Francis does 143.7 just then. That's through sector 1 as he's just come out the pit, so that'll be why that one is, as Smithy there coming through, and that then he's up on his times through sector 1 and 2, and he's not looking too bad, is Smithy here, currently in P4. He'll probably be ecstatic with that. He's been on the podium this season as Mr. Smith. Can he put it there yet? Xmart didn't improve on his last lap, so backed out of that one then. Smithy coming across the line. Fiore goes purple through sector 1. Smithy crosses the line and improves by 1.2 seconds. Nicky behind him nudges him down to 5th place. KLF as well has gone into P3. Fiore though on a flyer at the minute. Purple through sector 1. Where is Fiore? Dean then a 151 with that spin at the final corner. We expect to see him coming through the pack. Here comes Fiore. Dan and NJ in the pits. Here comes Fiore then. They have got time to get out to get another lap in. Fiore should take pole, and does take pole by 1/10 of a second, and 2/10 exactly quicker than Daniel Francis. Dean, the next man, sets time. Dan, KLF, Nicky and NJ and DJ Phil all in the pits. The 2 McLarens 9th and 10th at the moment, but Dean green and green and has dropped the car yet again there then. He's got 3 minutes 19 to get a lap in. May just want to back off for the rest of this lap to cool them tyres down. Stealth Sloth then currently sat in 7th place. Dean Wasocki, average qualifying for him at the moment then is P8. Not going to get that tonight. That's going to affect his average qualifying. Stealth Sloth at the moment on track, down on his time, not improving so far. Smithy though was green in sector 1. Is he still out on track? I do believe so. Yeah, he is. Down towards sector 2 we go then. Phone issue should be sorted, so no one is able to ring me now, says Jamie Brazier. So that's good then going forward in the season. Smithy a bit of a cut and returns that one to the pit lane. Dean improved on his time, but obviously had that spin and is still some 9 seconds off the pace. Oh, Stealth Sloth very wide at the final couple of corners there as Fury, purple in sector 1 again here then. Stealth Sloth down the straight and improves by 1.8 seconds to put himself all the way up into P5. So good time there from Stealth Sloth as Fury. Bit of a cut there along that chicane, just running a little bit over the curb there. Driver's got to be wary of that one tonight. Oh, big wiggle and loses the rear end there then as he was purple sector 1. He wants to hope that Xmart stays in the pits for the next 2 minutes then. So where's Dean? Green in sector 1 was Dean, so another personal best for Dean in the first sector. We're on board KLF 900 who is on an outlap at the moment. And here comes KLF 900 then to finish his outlap. Dean is green and green through sector 2. I think we ought to cut to Dean Wasocki then, who is on a better lap as Kelly's only on an outlap. Oh, and that's really going to hurt his final run. That's really going to hurt his final run. And I don't know if we've got Liam there, but we could do a jump into Dean. And we seem to have lost Liam at the moment. Hopefully we can get him back. Michael Matthews Stealth definitely massively cut that last lap. He improved. Yeah, looked like it on the final chicane. We're not going to be able to see Dean improve as he does improve and goes P7 then. We missed that one of Dean Wasocki going up into P7.
Sorry about that one.
And yeah, Stealth did massively cut, and Dean then has just ruined his last run at this one. Stealth then coming into the final couple of corners, and again so wide there. That is well above track limits. And is that any improvement? No improvement there. So then, who is on a decent lap? Smithy improved through sector 2 and is in the pit, so he's not going to improve anymore. Fury, he's not going to improve anymore either. Here is KLF. He's not improving at all as he had a bit of a smash coming through onto the start line then. Bit of a crash into the wall off screen. NJ, evening to Dean Wasocki. NJ is on track. He was green in sector 1 and green in sector 2. So let's go to NJ. And see what he can do then. 3 drivers left on track. KLF, Stealth Sloth and NJ at the minute. Qualifying is now done. So everybody in the pits is done from qualifying then. So unless NJ can gain a lot of time, it is going to be another pole position for Fury in this one. Stealth Sloth currently 5th. Can he improve on his final run? As NJ, oh, huge wiggle. Was up in sectors 1 and 2. Did he improve any? Maybe just a tad, but not enough. As we await him to come round, and DJ Phil is in the pits. He's going to start P10. Well, it's just Stealth Sloth we're awaiting on here. Oh, and he's had a huge off as well. All seeming to be struggling coming through this final corner tonight then. So really are making some mistakes then. So that will be your grid order there then. So it'll be Fury from Xmart, from Daniel Francis from KLF. And then it will be Stealth Sloth in P5 with Nicky P6, Dean Wasocki P7 with Smithy P8, NJ P9 and DJ Phil Green not having his best of times in the McLaren then. That's your top 10, well, top 10 shootout, don't forget. So 5 drivers will be able to qualify for Q2. The top 5 will be able to qualify, and that will be that one. So we're just waiting for the drivers to ready up here.
So Matt, just for a change for today, who do you reckon is your tip for the win for today?
Fury. Yourself?
I'm going to have to say the same. It's hard to put it past Fury. I would also say X-Mart. He's shown quite good pace as well. But yeah, it's hard to put it past him. Yeah,
X-Mart may put the pressure on him, but Fury, I think, here is the man to watch. Track noise suddenly gone. Really loud there, Matt. Not quite sure why, Dan. Hopefully that will sort itself out. I missed that first corner due to... I missed the first corner. Do apologise, wasn't deliberate cut. Top 4 are very quick. 4 temps slower in Sector 2, so I'd say not a big gain, says Daniel Francis. And as the drivers then are ready, and we're about to get underway here for the first race, round 17 of the season, and we are green. And what a start from Fury, a great start behind from KLF 900. He's already got alongside X-Mart then, and he's looking to go and get the job done, and he has done then. And he's already going to put the pressure onto Fury as they head down towards turn 1. Daniel Francis did not get off the line and is dropped all the way back to the back of the pack. And Fury leads into turn 1 as KLF then, and that's a Porsche. And I think the two team called running cars caught each other up there and hit each other. Oh, Dean's had a spin. Oh, what a shame for Dean Wysocki, but NJ and Smithy have had a rocket ship start. Fury's got away slightly, but KLF up into second. Good start from him. Fury's going to dominate, says Disco in the chat. Fury from Kelly, X-Mart, NJ, Nicky, Smithy, Self-Soft, DJ Phil, Daniel Francis, Dean Wysocki. Consistency problems again, and that's NJ. NJ's had a huge slide coming through the corner. Has he been able to save that one? I think he has, you know. I think he's got going again. Yeah, they're in a bit of a tussle here with Self-Soft, DJ Phil and Daniel Francis. And look at Phil going to look up the inside of NJ. And NJ closes the door and gets that one stopped. As what is going on with Dean in the background. Then as Phil loses the rear.
Phil's round.
Oh, Liam, what a catastrophic start here. Dean doesn't look like he's motoring on here. He just looks like he's plodding along.
Yeah, maybe he has some damage after having a spin, hitting the wall. He might have some... damage that's hurting the car's speed.
Yeah, indeed, that does seem to be the case at the minute, as the top 4 have really gone here and are flying at the minute. Fury he's not dropping KLF, and KLF has X-Mart right on the back of him. Nicky, close comfort as well. Good points for Team Prolapse here today, over forever forward. This is not what Kieran Argent will be wanting to watch if he's still there. He'll be shutting his eyes and hoping that X-Mart can make his way through. Smithy then, he's up into P5. He's got NJ, his teammate, on the back of them, and Daniel Francis and Self-Soft in close comfort as well, as X-Mart looking up the inside of KLF. Can't get the move done. Kelly keeps it there. Look at the 4 behind as well. We've got a top 4, and then we've got the next 4, and then you've got your 2 McLarens. The next 4 then, Daniel Francis a little wide there, maybe trying to avoid Smithy as NJ has got past his teammate and can get his head down to hunt the top 4 then. Smithy ahead of Daniel Francis. They've just dropped Stealth off a little bit, so maybe he made a mistake. Nicky though on the back of X-Mart, taking the pressure off of his teammate by putting the pressure onto X-Mart. Bit of a chaotic start with drivers losing it there, Liam, and it just seems to have settled down now.
Yeah, as I've personally said, it's something that was going to happen. Someone's going to lose the car, but it can't be helped in the end of the day.
Indeed, that is the case. Now, what will happen as the rest of the race goes on then? Daniel Francis looking to get on the rear of Smithy, as Smithy is still trying to stick with NJ here. He's not been dropped by NJ by no stretch of the imagination. In towards the chicane then. There is NJ, who has a huge cut of the chicane there. Really big cut from NJ. You saw the Porsche twitching a little bit. Daniel Francis is going to look up the inside of Smithy, and Smithy gives him plenty of room and respect. And Daniel Francis then up into P6, and I thought NJ dropped it for a second there, but I must have been wrong. It sounded like a car had lost it, but obviously not. KLF still second ahead of X-Mart and Nicky, and Daniel Francis then now up into 6th places. NJ a bit wide out the final corner and across the gravel. Daniel Francis did the same thing. NJ a bit slidey, so even though he was in the gravel and Daniel did the same thing, Daniel still got a great run on him, and round the outside they head towards, round the outside, that little bend, he'll be up the inside for turn 1, but that is job done, and Daniel can tuck back in, and NJ is going to try and look up the inside as he into turn 1. Daniel gives him plenty of space. They just lean on each other. Daniel just has to cut a bit of the corner there, but that's just racing at the moment. That one was a bit fine as they touched. NJ gets a great great run then as they come down towards the inside of 2 and 3. NJ looking great value for his money. Daniel manages to hang it around the outside. A bit of rubbing from them too. And NJ and Daniel Francis side by side. This is really allowing Smithy and Stelfsoff on the back of these two.
Yeah, well, with anyone fighting in a car, it's going to let people who's behind them catch up, because obviously those two are like they are focusing on battling each other, whereas
Daniel Francis, great, sorry Liam, Daniel Francis, great move up the inside of NJ at the double right-hander as NJ went so deep. Daniel gets that one done. NJ looking to come back at him. Bit of a tap up the rear. NJ onto the grass a little bit there. And NJ looking feisty here. And Daniel then into the chicane. NJ's going to look up the inside. Forces Daniel Francis wide. And has forced himself off as well. They both rejoin. And I tell you what, NJ then really getting the elbows out. Daniel Francis very unhappy with that one. Not a popular decision on that manoeuvre. Daniel Francis not happy with NJ. Smithy and Stelfsoff right there. And NJ looks like he's being aggressive tonight, elbows out, and I'm going to take the fight to these guys, he's saying.
Yeah, well, that should be what it's like, obviously, taking out, obviously.
Oh, what's happened to Kelly's P4? Kelly's dropped it somewhere. No. Look, he's got bit of dirt or damage on the front. It looks like he's had a bit of a scrape or been through the gravel somewhere. Then he's lost out to Exmar and his teammate Nicky then. So P4, DJ Phil into the pits at the end of lap 4. Pit window's not till lap 7, but obviously trial in the Pro-Am, enough damage is enough to pit just the once. As Daniel Francis looking back at NJ, but NJ managing to defend that one. And so Phil must have some significant damage, and I'm surprised Dean is not gaining on the back of these guys at all at the minute.
Yeah.
As the gap comes down then so far. Is NJ round? Is he round? I think he has. He's lost it, hasn't he? Yeah, he's lost it fully. Where is Dean Wysocki then? He's there in the background. Looks like he's out for a Sunday stroll more than a race.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
That is an interesting one. He's got this point. He could score big points tonight, could Dean? And he's just out for a casual Sunday drive more than a race at the minute, it seems. No urgency from Dean. You'd think he'd want to get on that urgency and move up the table while there's opportunity to gain points, not lose points. And at the minute, he's losing massive points to his drivers around him. Smithy will outscore him. Stelfsoff is outscoring him at the moment in time as well. DJ Phil's the only one who's not outscoring him, but he's 26 points behind, and he's not going to gain that much on him at the moment. The two Team Prolapse boys then up the front of the order. Nicky from KLF. Daniel Francis not too far behind, and now that he's not got NJ battling with him in this race, he can maybe now just put that pressure on to these Team Prolapse Porsches a little bit and show the true Mercedes potential.
Yeah, well, obviously that as of the moment it's obviously Mercedes, Porsche, Mercedes. So we'll see what happens.
Smithy and Stelfsoff on the timing screens look like they're in close quarters as well as they're coming down the circuit at the moment in time. Look at these two then having a battle. The two Porsches, MC Motorsport versus Team Cool Runnings. Dean then on the back of NJ, and NJ there has got what looks to be no rear wing. That's damage to me, would say that getting in the pits, NJ. There's significant damage there to be able to pit and not have to pit again. NJ surely could pit that as Dean then on his Sunday stroll picks up a place. I mean, Dean there, look at the last lap, 3 seconds slower than Smithy, and oh, he's round. Dean's round now, so he's, well, not fully round. He had a bit of a slide, he's caught it and gets him back on track as Smithy and Stelfsoff resume their battle then. So NJ's got back ahead of Dean, and Stelfsoff cannot get past him at the moment. Daniel Francis on the back of Nicky, as Nicky's been overtaken by KLF. Was that team orders with KLF in second in the championship then? But Daniel Francis now on the back of this Prolapse Porsche. Can he get his first podium here at SimPlay Motorsport? We'll be talking to him after race 1. And say there's only 10 drivers. There's been a lot happening in this first couple of laps, Liam.
Yes, it has. It's a very, as I'm going to call it, eventful track.
Yeah, DJ Phil was in the pits for over a minute on his last lap. 2 minute 40 was his last lap, so wow, he must have had some significant damage. NJ may as well get himself in the pits as well, as Dean still hasn't got past NJ yet, and yet NJ struggling with huge damage as NJ now comes into the pits at the end of lap 5. So Dean then will get ahead of NJ through that one, and Daniel Francis now can start to attack the back of Nicky in his Gulf liveried Mercedes. Lovely looking livery, that one, on the back of the Team Pro Laps of Nicky then. Nicky was at Goodwood over the weekend, so I hope he enjoyed himself there. But what can he do? Daniel Francis, oh yeah, he's managed to save it there, Liam, but the rear was definitely wanting to overtake himself.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff you want to kind of take out, because it's going to cost you his racing. At the moment, he's only, what, 4 seconds off of actually being in a podium position.
Yeah, NJ is going to be in the pits for quite some time, you would imagine, but at the moment, Stealth Sloth there again, a huge cut of the corner.
So if he keeps doing that, he'll obviously get...
yeah, the stewards may have to take. Stewards may have to take a look at some of these corner track limits here. It's coming into the chicane, nice and easy. Then NJ still in the pit lane, and the blue dot I think is coming out the pits. DJ Phil may just get past here of NJ, but NJ's got the pace to get back on the back of DJ Phil. Fury 8 seconds out in front. Then Daniel still behind Nicky, and Stealth Sloth still behind Smithy, but 6th and 7th for these two is great points here, and Stealth Sloth there managing to keep it inside the track limits then. Down the start straight, there you go. Nicky just gapping Daniel Francis a couple of tenths. In fact, no, he's not, because now Daniel Francis is touching the bumper there then, and he's pushing him through turn 1 and 2. And is he going to get that run down the hill towards turn 3? The Mercedes power later on the brakes. Can't get that nose up the inside. Great awareness from Daniel of Nicky coming back in front to get to the apex of the corner. Great driving from these two at the minute. Daniel with his lights on, points to prove. And has he just tapped the rear of Nicky there then? And I think Daniel just touched the rear of Nicky, because he just lost the car a little bit there. Unsettled that Mercedes as Stealth Sloth now gets past Smithy. Smithy's trying to come back at Stealth Sloth up the inside. Can't get that move done at the minute. Is he going to look around the outside at this next part of the track? Smithy then, at the minute, driving a nice clean race as is Stealth Sloth. Brilliant racing from these two. Smithy giving the room and respect to Stealth Sloth. Stealth Sloth very wide at the second part of the track, and Smithy thought about having a look back up the inside, but Stealth Sloth looks like he's got that one done and can now settle on. Dean laps 2 seconds quicker than Smithy last time round, but that is not enough as he's 10 seconds behind Smithy. Dean really should be on the back of these two battling. The amount these two have been battling each other, Dean should be right there. I don't quite know what Dean is doing tonight. That Sunday stroll seems to be the case, because he's clearly got the pace to be quicker than him, but he's just not putting it together then. End of lap 7. KLF, the first man to pits. Then inside the pit window, Daniel Francis follows him in, trying to undercut Nicky maybe. Smithy very, very wide through there. Stealth Sloth and Smithy will gain an extra couple of places here, and that'll put them 4th and 5th at the moment, as KLF then has passed Daniel in the pits, as Daniel's car is now away, as is Kelly's, so they will resume racing in just a moment. And Fury must have made a mistake at some part of the track, because X-Mark's 2.2 off the back of him.
Yeah, I was going to say he was about 8 seconds up the road, not long back. As we say good evening, as we're on about Fury, we say good evening to Fury's mum. Welcome to the stream tonight. Yeah, Fury was 8 seconds up the road, now he's 2.4, and Smithy has lost out massively to Stealth Sloth over this last lap then. And KLF and Daniel Francis are separated by Dean Wysocki, as NJ's having a fight with DJ Phil. At the minute, so Dean Wysocki in the middle of the KLF Daniel Francis battle. I say battle, there is 5 seconds between Daniel and KLF. And here comes NJ then, looking around the outside at the chicane of DJ Phil. Can't get that move done there. NJ's Porsche looks quite quick tonight, but NJ just doesn't look like he's putting the laps together, as DJ Phil defends very nicely into that left-hander. NJ going to try and go the long way around here, look for the cutback. Can he get it done? Well, he kind of went all over the curb there to get that one done, but didn't get it done in the end. DJ Phil's round.
Yeah, losing the rear there. That was very uncharacteristic of the McLaren, but lost the rear then. Daniel Francis on the back of Dean Wysocki, and Daniel's going to pull out now. Is there anything Dean can do? A lot earlier on the brakes than the Mercedes, and Daniel Francis up the inside. Thank you, Mama, for the car. It's job done from him.
Yes, indeed it was.
Dean Wysocki then just doesn't seem to have anything around here tonight. Anything at all in that McLaren. P8 at the minute. Daniel now P7, and you know, Dean should be really with the Smithy Stealth Sloth fight, but that's well up the road from Dean as he's very wide through the final corner. Dean is struggling in that McLaren.
Yes, he is. So, like we said earlier, maybe he might think about a different car for next season.
Yeah, I mean, surely you want to finish the season as best you can. You know, I know you want to try a new car, but surely finish the season as best you can. If you get what I mean, Liam, you just got to get to the end of it, haven't you?
Yeah,
You've got to get to the end, and as much as you might want to change the car, you've just got to get there. Stealth Sloth then has dropped Smithy. 3.2 seconds is the gap. Now, when does Nicky pit? This is the crucial one. When does Nicky pit? Because at the moment, he was racing Daniel Francis, and Daniel Francis now 4 seconds off the back of KLF. So if you ask me, I think Nicky needs to pit sooner rather than later if he is to get on the back of Daniel Francis, or maybe come out in between Daniel and KLF. Pit strategy is now starting to come into play at the field. Just, is it me, or is Stealth Sloth just caught Nicky that little bit? Nicky 145 last lap, so I wonder if Nicky's made a mistake somewhere, and I wonder if that's going to cost Nicky his place to Daniel Francis in this race then. Daniel's got 3 seconds back to KLF. Fury's upped his gap to 4.2 over Xmart again. Oh, and that is a huge cut from Daniel Francis there. That one is huge.
Yeah, a lot of people taking very interesting lines tonight, if you ask me, Matt.
Let's not cut the butter with a spoon. Corner cutting. I mean, that one there, he's just cut the corner. And it's not just Daniel, it's everybody at the moment. They're all cutting the corners. I mean,
yeah.
There's calling a dog a cat, there's calling a cat a dog. But, you know, there's just blatant corner cutting going off here, and it's from majority of the drivers on this grid. As Daniel then runs a little out wide, down towards turn 3 we go. Matt, you not using your corner names, haha. I don't know the corner names for this track, Kieran, as that's why I'm not using them then. Stealth Sloth then on board him at the minute, trying to gain on the back of Nicky. Nicky just seems to be struggling as of late, and this then really starting to help Stealth Sloth out here. And so far so good. Stealth Sloth having a bit of a decent showing tonight. We've not seen the best of Stealth Sloth really since season 1, but we've had glimpses. But tonight he looks like he's doing his best here, and he's putting on a display that he can be proud of. 2 people in the pits at the end of lap 10. That is Xmart, and that one is Fury as well. Then into the pits they come, and this one is looking like a dream at the moment. If you are Fury and Xmart, looks like it's going to be a good 1-2 for them. As Nicky then, he's going to bring himself into the pits at the end of lap 10. Now I think Nicky has lost out to Daniel Francis here massively, if you ask me. Oh, a Stealth Sloth, huge. Do you see the wiggle? There's another one, look. Just cutting the last corner. I have 2 dogs there watching as well, says Fury Grandad then in the chat. As Fury's out the pits, Xmart's still in the pits. KLF will pass Nicky. And we said that with Nicky's spin, that would allow Daniel Francis to get through. And it has. So Daniel Francis has undercut Nicky then. So Nicky has been undercut by Daniel Francis. Stealth Sloth and Smithy, 2nd and 3rd. Yet to pit, though, they are. As is Dean Wasaki. They are the only drivers left to pit. And there is Xmart right on the back of Smithy as he's came out the pits. Some 12 seconds behind Fury. What a bad pit stop for Xmart there. Nicky, he's had a bit of a long pit stop as well, hasn't he? He's gone in the pits as Dean Wasaki has now got ahead of Nicky. And I mean, there seems to be a car parked off the track at sector 2. DJ Phil, as Xmart's trying to get past, DJ Phil is just parked up. Yeah, he's just parked up. Well, you've got to get through.
He's run out of fuel.
Well, let's go on him and press the speedo, see if he has.
Give me a sec. Here we go. No, he's got plenty more than enough fuel.
Enough fuel. He's got to get 3/4 distance. You've got to get yourself to lap 14 to score points. If he doesn't get to lap 14, He won't score a penny. And that'll be no points for DJ Phil. And I mean, sitting at the side of the road like that, if you're not going to race, retire. As Xmart looking the long way around Smithy. Smithy then very wide as he just outbrakes himself a little bit. And now Xmart looking up the inside as Stovsloff then gets himself into the pits at the end of lap 11. That's another one in the pits there then. KLF, so Smithy drops, stays third after passes Stovsloff but gets overtaken by Xmart. KLF now has Daniel Francis all over the back of him. And Nicky is away behind Dean. Dean and Smithy then the only two who haven't pitted as Smithy cuts the corner, Kelly cuts the corner and Daniel makes the corner. I mean, there's extending the track a little bit, and then there's just blatantly doing it. You know what I mean? It is becoming a little bit of a farce. This is now. So it's Fury from Xmart from Smithy. Smithy yet to pit from KLF 900 from Daniel Francis. Daniel Francis looking for his first podium at SimPlay Motorsport. So we'll want to do this one on his 41st race start. DJ Phil still sat there, and I hazard to guess we'll not get to lap 14. If we just go on board DJ Phil, in fact actually no we won't, we'll stay on board. DJ Phil's on lap 9, so he's got to get 5 more laps in to score points. Kelly there was having a look at Smithy but couldn't get past. Remember what happened 2 weeks ago at Sugo when these two raced against each other? Kelly probably does, and he was upside down on his roof while he was thinking about it as he now comes around and Xmart cuts the track, Smithy cuts the track, and the other two take the track limits. I think this could be the talking point of this track race tonight, Liam, of some decent battles up and down the grid and a lot of corner cutting. Yeah. Oh, it's Daniel Francis there a bit later on the brakes and just tapped the rear of Kelly. And again, Daniel's tapped the rear of a Prolapse car twice now, once Nicky and once KLF. And I'm not saying he's done it on purpose, you know, he's probably been caught out, but both times he has done it, that Mercedes has twitched and ended up just running a little wide or running a little off track. But at the moment, this is for third place. Smithy has to pit still. He's on lap 13 of 19. He has to pit. As Daniel Francis is, I mean, that is optimistic. And he's been tapped around by Kelly. And I tell you what, Daniel was on the gravel at one stage. I don't think it was late. He was just on the gravel. And I think that's what's not slowed him down there. But Kelly just tapping Daniel around. And I don't think that was any fault of Kelly's here. Daniel could not get the car stopped as he was on the gravel trap. Dean now up to 6th. He's ahead of Stovsloff, but Dean, of course, has to pit. The same as Smithy at the moment. Daniel Francis really wants his podium here. I tell you what, this has been a decent battle from these guys up and down the grid, but it's just been a little bit silly at times from some of these guys, hasn't it? Smithy runs a little bit wide. Kelly tries to get underneath, can't get that one done. Through the double right-hander they go. Now down towards the chicane they come, and Kelly could do with clearing Smithy before Smithy pits here, so that if Smithy stays out for longer, he can get himself ahead. He can stay ahead for Daniel Francis for a few laps. That is exactly what KLF 900 will be wanting Smithy to do. What he won't be wanting to see Smithy do is dive into the pits. As much as that'll give Kelly a free track. Daniel Francis has spun again. He's had another problem then, another spin. Does he have a bit of damage on the rear after the tap from Kelly? What a shame at the moment. So another spin then as Smithy now decides he's going to pull the trigger at the end of lap 13 and bring himself into the pits. Where will he come out? So Daniel Francis having a few problems. Dean Wysocki then the only one left to pit. Now Kelly 7 seconds up the road from Smithy. Where is Daniel? He's coming around the final corner, so Daniel will gain 4th place. But Kelly at the moment looks like he's going to hang on for that third. He's 5 seconds behind Xmart. Can he make any inroads there? We'll have to wait to see. He's got 10 seconds back to Daniel. And I don't know what to say about that one. I don't know whether Kelly had made a mistake or what, but I mean the corner cutting now has become a bit of a farce. Dean, go on, sorry, Liv.
At this point, it's just growing on us, and it's just, you shouldn't be doing it, guys.
Yeah,
it
isn't what you want to see. As Dean and Stovsloff have got past Smithy then, so Dean up to P5 and has spun. And Dean has not yet pitted, and DJ Phil has still not yet moved, so, I mean,
not going the way of the ready, set, go guys.
No, the ready, set, go are really going to lose out here in the constructors. Really going to lose out in the constructors here. It is really a shame for them too, because they are sat P4 in the championship, but with NJ and Smithy I mean, Dean's outscoring both of them, but he's got to pit, so it may be the fact that Dean ends up behind both of them two during the pit stops, and that they're going to outscore both Ready Set Go cars. So Dean and DJ Phil probably going to drop to P5 in the constructors. If not, Lone Wolf's not here. Piston broke. I mean, there's still enough time for Daniel and MC Motorsport to catch up to the back of Dean and DJ Phil. But I mean, long way to go tonight. We'll have to wait and see.
Yes, indeed there is, and nothing much happening on track except from cars going around it.
It's still sloth near Dean on the circuit as Dean looks to try and get back ahead, although that one sort of gapped himself as Dean's either made... well, he has now, he's span again. Them tyres must be screaming to Dean, change me, because the amount of times he's span and just look at the way he's treating them tyres is basically...
Oh, he's coming in the pits.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to come into the pits. And just gets it slowed down in time. I tell you what, that was nearly speeding in the pit lane then. So lap 14 for Dean as he pits. Nicky then gets past Dean Wysocki. Smithy and NJ, where are they on track? Smithy's coming to the end of the lap, so he'll get past Dean. So that's one Team Cool running out, scoring both Ready Set Go drivers. And let's not forget, DJ Phil's got to get to lap 14 to score any points here. So it's not going to happen for these guys tonight. Ready Set Go are really going to lose out in their championship tonight. And I hope Dean's put in a fresh set of tyres on, let me tell you, because them tyres, the way that they've been treated by Dean, as Dean's out the pit, so he's definitely not put a new set of tyres on. They are screaming, evening lads, come on Team Cool Runnings, track limits for race 2, simple, says Gary. That may have to be the case. Fury, car is ghosted, and Blue Dot is ghosted. I do believe, Fury, that is DJ Phil who is ghosted. Let's go to Fury a second. Yeah, Fury's fine, yep, Fury, that is DJ Phil parked to the side of the road. Don't know why, he just is. Track limits it may be a case of turning them track limits on for race 2.
Maybe so. Which it should be something we have to do either. The settings are there for a reason. They shouldn't have to be turned on because people are taking track limits. You should all be respecting the rules and not cutting corners and whatnot. Yeah,
the drivers obviously know that they will get penalised for the track limits if they are to take them, and like you say, Liam, the track limits are there. It's clear to see the two white lines on the side of the road are what you have to do. Fury last lap a 156.6, so real poor last lap. Was he off put by that ghost at the side of the road? Dean came out the pits 10 seconds up the road from NJ, so NJ now has got to get a move on if he's to beat Dean Wysocki. Smithy up in 7th then. Not a lot happening as we come into the back end of this first race of the night. It's lap 16 of 19. And as we come round, Daniel France saying please do put the track limits on. Liam, Fury has dominated this race though, hasn't he, from here?
Yes, he has, and as you've said, he was your tip for it win. Same for me. Still obviously another 3 laps left, but anything can happen in these laps. But from where it looks like, it could be a solid win for Fury.
It does look a solid win, provided he makes no mistakes from lap 17 to lap 19. He'll be home and dry, lapping back as normal. Last time around, X-Mark's only 5 seconds off the back of him. He's got Kelly 8 seconds behind himself, and DJ Phil is still not moving, and he's not going to get to lap. He's on lap 9. He's not going to get to lap 14. This is, I mean, Phil is just better off retiring. Surely there's another track limits there from the MC Motorsport Porsche.
And if I'm also right in your games,
okay, so just to sorry to interrupt earlier, just breaking news from the admin chat itself. Track limits will be on for qualifying and race 2. So track limits will be on for the second race of tonight after the track limits that have been gauged already. So the admin team straight away getting straight onto the track limits here for the second qualifying and the second race. Don't forget the top 5 can't qualify, so at the minute Fury, X-Mark, KLF, Dan and Stealthsoft cannot qualify. Nicky, Smithy, Dean, NJ and DJ Phil all can. But track limits will be on, so they'll have to make sure they're not cutting the corners to get a valid lap time in for that second race. As Fury there, just a small cut, but a cut nonetheless. As we're coming down to the back end of this race, lap 17 of 19, there is X-Mart in the background, 4.2 behind Fury. Has he gained just slightly this lap, X-Mart? I feel like he's gained a little bit. I feel like the gap was 5 seconds last time around.
We'll find out when they both cross the line. That's the only way we can find it. I wonder if
Fury's tyres are just going off here.
Have a look then.
Either way, let's wait and see. So, Stove Sloth lost 25 points in the championship for retiring for not doing 80% of the season, which means he's lost 25 points and wasn't able to give us reason as to why. Obviously, valid reasons would have counted, but that wasn't the case. And I mean,
I don't think there's any point of even mention it anymore because it's happening that frequently.
Yeah. You give the guys some freedom. I tell you now, Liam, I know you're obviously not racing tonight, but I tell you now, I hope the pro lads are watching or listening to this and going, alright, they're on it for tomorrow. We know they're going to be on it. We've got to do our best to make sure that this isn't happening.
Yeah, hopefully people are thinking that, but even in terms of that, I don't think anyone in pro should be thinking of that because as far as I'm aware, no one in the pro really takes track limits to the extent as what the Pro-Am are at the moment.
Yeah, it's a bit still, you know, there needs to be something done about this. DJ Phil, I mean, parking at the side of the track, that is just, it's not what you want to see, is it?
Not right. You come to race.
Yeah, you come to race, not park at the side of the road. Do you want to park at the side of the road, get in your own car and drive to Tesco's car park or any other supermarket car park that's available and pull up there and sit and do whatever you're doing. Retire from the race if you're not going to race, or don't turn up, you know. Fury then coming to start the final lap of this race, and X-Mart may have just caught him over the last lap. Couple of tenths here, although X-Mart looks like he's lost, a couple of tenths here, 4 tenths. You'll need Fury to drop more than 4 tenths next time around if he's to win this race. Then it's Fury. Oh, he's dropped it!
Fury's round!
And it's on the final lap of the race. And X-Mart leads. Fury on the final lap of this race has dropped it at turn 1. Where's KLF? Because I tell you what, he's there. I tell you what, if Fury's got some damage or if his tyres have gone, Kelly could be in for a P2 tonight. Kelly may be taking it steady to secure that P. Oh, we've lost a driver. We've lost NJ. He did do 3/4 race distance. And with DJ Phil technically not meeting the requirement of 3/4, NJ will have completed 3/4 the race and will therefore score 9th place points and can qualify for race 2. So NJ already retired there with 1 lap to go. But Fury there. Now, what damage does Fury have? He's got 8 seconds to Kelly. What damage, if any, does Fury have here?
His damage doesn't look too bad.
No, it doesn't look too bad. He's got a big enough back, though, to not catch X-Mart. He needs to keep it on the road and hope he doesn't drop it again anywhere, because Kelly, 9 seconds that gap, a big enough spin, and Kelly could be on him then. But X-Mart's coming to the end of this lap, and I tell you what, Fury has led for 18 laps. And on the lap it's mattered, the win is going to go the way of X-Mart here. What a shock that is to the system. But it does look like X-Mart is going to take his first ever race win at SimPlay Motorsport, and he's going to cross the line P1. Great job from him. Fury's going to come home for a P2 a bit further back. We didn't see that one cross the line. Kelly then looks like he's going to come home for a P3. So another podium for KLF. It's been a while. It's been 4 races, but he's back on the podium as he slows down to give us a nice little flash. Daniel Francis with a P4, and I do believe that matches his best result of the season. In fact, is Daniel out of fuel? Is Daniel out of fuel? Load the speedo up, because Stealth Sloth is going to take a P4. Daniel's not out of fuel, so I'm not sure what Daniel's doing here.
Oh,
but Stealth Sloth
is now retired.
Well, he doesn't score a single point for that one. Daniel Francis then.
Daniel Francis.
Yeah, he's going now. Can't go wrong with track limits turned on. Is the way to go in my opinion. Said it from day one, said Gary. Hard luck Fury, well done X-Mart. Daniel Francis then. I mean, I'm not quite sure what Daniel's wanting to do here, but that's Nicky. That's Nicky through. So Nicky is going to claim.
Up.
His car doesn't look that battered to go that slow, though, to be fair, Liam, does it? So that's Nicky through, and all of a sudden it's gone fast again. I know exactly what Daniel Francis has done there then. So that's Nicky for P5. Daniel Francis is going to claim P6. Smithy then will claim a P7. And Dean Wasaki, work to do in race 2, as he's nearly lost the car there. He's going to claim a P8. Well, a lot of controversy in that one, Liam.
Yes, indeed, there was. And controversy that doesn't need to be said.
No, it doesn't need to be said there. Given any time I might have taken back, says Daniel Francis. I mean, that's for the stewards to look at after the race. So that's basically Daniel's basically what he's saying there, Liam, is he's basically gave any time back he's gained through cutting corners to avoid a penalty at the end of the race. But doing that, he's also then dropped himself into the qualifying 2 procedure after he was about to equal his best finish of the season. He drops himself into the qualifying 2 and drops down to P6. And the fastest lap of the race goes to that man Fury yet again, but it's not a win for Fury, it's only a P2. We're going to get the top 3 in for a quick interview. We'll be right back with qualifying 2 in just a couple of minutes. Well, that's just outrageous. That is just outrageous.
I know. Also, I can't save the replay.
Yeah, that's fine. Fuck it. I'll delete my stuff now.
What was that tonight? That's terrible.
Right. That edit. Rules and regs.
My question, what the fuck was Dean doing?
He's just pissing about. He's just pissing about.
He's trying to show that he's meant to be Niam. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to be as slow as fucking possible. Can't be bothered with him either. But the amount of people tonight, I mean, you'd have thought it would have been better than that. Was it X-Mart, Fury and Kelly, by the way?
Yeah.
There we go.
Alright,
buddy.
Well done, X-Mart.
Cheers, Liam. Thanks, Matt. Fortunate, to be honest. Well, it could crumbles, I suppose.
Right, I'm going to pop to the
Yeah,
toilet.
I'm in the mid.
Just to let you guys know, it's just track limits have been turned on for that second race.
Yeah.
Good.
Because that was an absolute piss take from some of the backlot.
Who was taking a piss?
Daniel Francis, Stove Sloth, NJ, Smithy.
Yeah.
I mean, what DJ Phil was doing parked to the side of the road for half the race? Fuck knows.
I don't no idea.
I'm going to pop for a wait.
Yeah, that's out of order.
Is that how Daniel Francis is going so quick, Liam?
Probably on
Not there either.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, for the qualifying anyway. Defo. You just got to come down to second gear for that corner and you can chuck it in.
Which one you mean? Which one?
The one underneath the bridge before, you know, the one that I'm sure everyone's cutting off. You know, under the bridge with the chicane.
Yeah.
Chuck it in. And just slow down for it.
The only time I hopped that chicane was I got all squirrely under the brakes and was going to lose it, and I went across it, and I think they caught me on the stream doing that, so I was just going to ask about that when Matt comes back. But I say bring it on.
Hold your hands up, and just the way it happens. Sometimes, you know, if track limits were on, you'd have done that anyway, and you'd take the track limits.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I would have taken slow down. Absolutely.
But yeah, it's definitely a good idea in putting that on because people take the piss. It's one of those tracks that you can do it on, right?
Yeah, it is.
Because it's got the runoff. It's got the concrete runoff. It's basically just another track, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, apparently the white lines define the track. So Martin Brundle says. Week in, week out.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm back.
Matt,
Yeah.
what was is that why Daniel Francis was so quick in qualifying?
Potentially.
Yeah.
Disco said he cut a bit of the middle chicane.
What about that incident with me and him? From my view, I was just defending my line.
You was defending. He ended up on the gravel, so I assume that's why he couldn't stop.
Yeah, and he hit me and gave me damage.
Yeah, he come straight in front of you as you was turning the corner.
Yeah.
Like I said, he ended up on the gravel, so I assume that's what meant he didn't stop in time.
He was coming up so quick that I'm thinking he's never going to fucking stop. Do you know what I mean? Or maybe he was taking his cut line, you know? But he was right down the inside of me. You know, I saw him in my mirrors and I defended my line. Next thing, he's fucking hit me, you know? So, but I didn't know what it looked like on the stream or from what you guys saw.
You just see it as it panned out. He just, like I say, he ends up on the gravel, and that seems to be what not makes him stop.
Yeah, right. Okay. Oh, I also believe, was I not on stream when I cut a corner? Or I didn't cut it, I went fucking
Yeah,
wide.
I think so.
Yeah, that wasn't my driving all the way through, I'll tell you that.
No, I'm not saying it was, mate.
I've been very much inside the line.
It was just getting a bit pathetic with a few drivers at the back, like Stowe stuff. And Daniel, he says on the stream he's gave all his time back from cutting corners, that's why he's finished 6th. I say bullshit, you finished 6th to fucking qualify.
You finished 6th because you're shit. That's why. Because he qualified well. I know why he qualified well now. Do you know what I mean? I'm thinking, fuck me, he's got pace.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Daniel Francis.
He was terrible for track limits today.
A lot of them was, mate. A lot of them was. I mean, why is DJ Phil just parking up for 10 laps?
Why is he turning up?
I was wondering.
That's weird.
And then he retired just before the end of the race. He didn't score points for that.
It puts you off as a driver because you just see the blue dot. You know,
yeah. I think
like,
Fury. I don't know how Fury typed the message, but Fury said it on the chat.
Fury's here. Fury's in.
You animal Fury. Is that what it was? I thought you had a problem.
I can't hear you very well, Fury. I don't know if you're a bit quiet or what. I don't know. I can't hear you very well. Are you okay? Good win?
Oh yeah, well done everyone else who's joined since
cool, yeah.
by the way.
Yeah, I am never touching that curb again. I was
dear.
trying to avoid it the entire race, and then the back end started getting slowly. Where I lost it, turn 1, that curb.
Turn 1, that one.
Turn 1, never touch that curb.
I've been trying to avoid it entire race.
I've been saying to myself at the start, I'm going, don't overtake anybody in turn 1. Don't take it. Mark will tell you. I'm saying, don't overtake anyone. Don't overtake anyone. And I had a cracking start, and then it was you in front of me, Fury, and I'm like, don't try to overtake him in the first corner. Don't do it. Don't do it. You know.
I can't believe it's like my Christmases all came at once on the last lap there, Fury. Bless you.
Yeah, if you could have spun it a bit more, a bit longer, so I could have caught you as well, that would have been great. If you could do that, if you keep note of that and do that for next time, that'd be lovely. Thank you.
Mate, it just lifted the entire front of the car up.
Yeah.
That's it. Whoosh.
I've struggled around that bend all week in the Mercedes, to be fair. All week.
Do you normally go flat round there?
Me,
I was
in the
going
Merc,
flat, yeah.
was I fuck. Every time I went round there with set up high, I kept losing rear a little bit, so I had to lift off.
Right. Mark, you going flat?
What? Which corner?
That
Turn
first
1.
little bend before you come up the hill to the braking zone at turn 1.
Lift just a little bit. Lift a little bit.
Yeah.
Just to be sure, because you don't want the back end coming out, you know?
Fury, you the same?
No, I was flat.
You're flat, are you? Sometimes I can go flat.
Flat around there.
When my tyres are right, I can do it flat. But there's a few times where it just gets, the back end gets a bit loose and you just got to take a little bit of a confidence lift.
Lift it.
But when my tyres are right, I can do it flat.
Because I was going around that corner and foot to the floor, and the back end started getting loose on that lap, and I was doing the same every lap, so that was getting.
The thing is, you've got to set yourself up for the first corner, the tight chicane. If you're going into it too quick, you've got to really slam on the anchors and come down the gears in readiness for that corner.
And the car gets all squirrely under brakes,
becomes
doesn't it?
squirrely.
Yeah.
My back end's terrible.
Is it?
I've got 10
I've looked at it a few times.
You had a cracking
You're
start
looking at it in
there,
Championship.
Some fucking start, wasn't it?
That was some fucking start.
That was some start, my friend. My starts are normally good. Two things I did really well is I started really well, and my pit stop was 0.9 of a second.
Nice.
Mine was 1 second.
Yeah. Yeah. On the glitch for you?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
X-Mark's in with the X-Mark's equaled Kelly on 2 wins now, and myself and BT.
Excellent. Well done, mate.
Cheers.
That's enough now, right?
Well, there
I
goes.
thought I was going to get it tonight.
Yeah, there goes Fury equaling Jamie's record tonight.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
going to
wait
say,
another
I
week.
thought it was going to be, it's time to shine, but ballsed it up, Fury, terrible.
I think you get another shot at it, though.
Right. Oh, he's still.
I was nervous as I was spinning because I was like, oh my god, the back end's going straight towards the wall. Please.
Oh,
And
you're so lucky.
I was so lucky.
Yeah, so lucky.
Can
I'm
I
so
have some
gutted.
pure luck, please? And also speed.
Get the Merc out, then that can give you speed.
Nah,
I keep-
I want the bloody Merc.
I keep meaning to have a go in the Merc on, like, you know, after a race event when you're in that groove with your own car, you know, so you know the track really well. Then go and swap cars and see how you get on with a different car. So I keep saying I'm going to do that, and I never do.
Definitely helps in the Merc.
Yeah, Merc's just got so much power.
That's the best part about it.
Yeah.
I was going to say when you start in session.
No, I've been waiting for Smithy.
Ah, right.
Just don't forget track limits are on, lads.
Yep. Not that we're going to qualify anyway, but hey.
Well, no, but
No, in race as well.
Boy.
I say I bring it on. I've got no problem with that.
The only thing that annoys me about track limits is that it dings if you go wide by accident.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're
Yeah,
sat
it should
there,
give
you're
you a
trying
couple
to
of
keep the car
chances,
from
shouldn't it?
spinning, and then it. Ding.
You should have like a kind of, couple of warnings, and couple of warnings, and then a, then a slowdown or whatever. But it is what it is, isn't it? You know.
It's the game. It's the way it was made. Can't do nothing about it.
Yeah. If the Muppets had been driving properly, we wouldn't be doing it.
and 4 drivers come win the title. Right, we're going to go live. Welcome back to SimPlay Motorsport for round 18 of the season, the second race of Le Mans tonight, and as you are aware through race 1, track limits have been turned on for this second race. The top 5 cannot qualify from that first race. That is X-Mark Fury, KLF, Stealth Sloth and Nicky cannot qualify for this race. Daniel Francis, Smithy, NJ, DJ, Phil and Dean all can. The championship looks like this. Fury has extended his gap a couple of points over KLF to 105. He's now got 77 points to outscore Kelly by before the title is over. X-Mark stays in third, starting to gain on Kelly a little bit though. He's only 34 behind him. But he needs to be outscored by Fury by 43 points for the title to be over for X-Mark. And Nicky then is fourth place. Still mathematically with the title, but if Fury outscores Nicky by 29 points, that one is over and done. The Constructors, Team Prolapse, pulling a lot of points back over Forever Forward Racing. The gap's now down to 73, and that'll get a bit shorter after this second race, no doubt, as well. Team Cool Runnings went above Ready, Set, Go, and Piston Broke about to get above Lone Wolf Motorsport with Don not being here tonight. Can Ready, Set, Go get it back above Team Cool Runnings in this one? Daniel Francis and DJ Phil, they're tight in a battle and they're gaining on NJ. Dean Wasocki stays ahead of, in fact goes ahead of Smithy, or stays ahead, I can't remember which way around, but that gap is 3 points between them two, and they've pulled a bit out towards Alfie as well. We've got the top 3 in the commentary box with us, and we've got old Sticky in the box with us. You'll hear him tomorrow night. But Kelly, you got a third place, you got a cracking start, but a bit of a lonely race after a good scrap with Daniel Francis in the middle stage of that one.
It was a bit of a lonely one, but this is one of those tracks where it seems to be always low grip, so you're kind of paying attention all the time, to be fair.
What was the track like for you in the Porsche? Was you able to get to grips with it quite easy? I mean, your car looked relatively quick as well as stable compared to certain Mercedes cars out there.
I mean, I'd done a bit of practice, and again, I kind of, kind of set it up to be as solid as possible, so I can be consistent. Because that's kind of my trait, I think. Try and consistency. And as I say, it just seems to be low grip. It's certain corners will catch you out, which it did when I was running in second. I had a bit of a spin. Just got caught out really. But all in all, it's all right. It's okay.
Yeah, you've lost a bit of ground to your title rival in Fury, but I mean, second place, you still can't be too disheartened with that one.
Too busy looking over my shoulder now.
Yes.
I'm not going to catch Fury for the championship. I'd like to stay in the top 3 of the championship. I'd like to stay second. It would be nice. But my dear friend is got his hand on my shoulder.
Indeed he has. What's your plans for race 2? A shorter grid tonight, so you can
drive really fast.
Yeah, get your way to the front quite easily.
Well, we'll see. With sim racing and definitely in Pro-Am, anything can happen. So just roll with the punches and see what happens, really.
Well, best luck, mate, for the second race.
Thank you.
Fury, we said before the start of the night that you was a man who could have equalled Jamie Brazier's record of 12 wins in a season. That one's gone.
Yep, sadly.
What happened there, mate? You looked like you had the race under control for 18 laps. You started the 19th and it just went.
Coming into turn 1 on the throttle, rear end started stepping out, tried to save it, saved it, put the power down, and the back end just went around as I clipped the front of the car clipped the curb, the front of the car lifted up, the back just went around and off into the wall I went.
Tyres all fine, so it's not like it was a tyre issue, or?
Tyres were a lot higher than I expected. They were I believe 28 on the rear.
Right, so maybe the tyres at the end of the race just giving way a little bit.
Yeah.
You start
full throttle around every corner.
You're going to start towards the middle of the field in this one. Looks like you're going to start P6. What can you do in it? Can you get that 11th win of the season?
All I can do is try.
Well, best of luck, mate.
Cheers.
We've got X Martin as well for his second race win of the season. I think I said at the end of the race, his first race win of the season. It's actually his second race win. And Mark, you've got to be happy with that one. It's been since your first race at Hockenheim that you took your first win. It's now took you all the way to Le Mans to get your second win. It's been a tough old season, hasn't it, in between that, on the podium and off the podium a little bit. But you got there.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty chuffed with that, Matt. Bit of a gift from Fury. He was driving so well. Couldn't catch him. Really, really quick speed, good pace. But yeah, made a couple of mistakes and I just capitalised on it, so I'm well happy with that, mate.
Yeah, obviously you made the big one at the end there, and I bet your eyes must have lit up at the fact that you saw Fury go round. And
well and truly.
The pace looks good, buddy. Good pace out there. Obviously not enough to be on the back of Fury, but good pace for another podium maybe in race 2.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not too bad. But as Kelly said, it's a very low grip circuit. I've just noticed that it feels almost like you're driving in wet conditions. You just got to be careful. A bit ginger on a few corners, and the Merc is a bit hard to handle on some of these corners. The corners are long and very, very tricky, mate.
Yeah. What can you do race 2, mate, from the back?
Well, hopefully the same. From the back it's going to be difficult. It is quite a difficult circuit to overtake on this one. But I'm looking forward to it and see what I can do, mate.
Well, best luck with it.
Cheers.
So the top 3 seem all pretty happy with himself, but all but Fury obviously dropping that race win there, Liam. As we see in Daniel Francis coming to complete his lap, the only driver not yet to set lap. NJ and Smithy back in the pit lane then. There is still 3.5 minutes remaining, but with them track limits on, are we just starting to see a few drivers just struggle a little bit now?
Yeah, possibly, but it is more of a self-inflicted thing by other people, maybe not necessarily them. It's just something other people have done that's caused it, and it's unfortunate that you, should I say, have had to do it.
It is indeed. Then it's Dean Wasocki coming round then at the moment. Him and DJ Phil and Daniel are the only 3 on track. I think Daniel's by the end of his laps. Let's jump to Daniel Francis then, who's on a lap. I think it might be an out lap actually, looking at the timing screen, but it'll be a lap on the board to put in P5. Fury then will start in P6 for this race, so a good Q2 position for Fury. You've then got Stelstoff, who's going to start in 10th. He's by the back of the pack. Kelly's going to start P8 as Daniel Francis. We haven't seen him cross the line, have we? he has crossed the line, but he's not put a time
Yeah,
on the
he
board
has.
yet. Strange. Maybe not able to due to the track limits. Nicky then will start in P7. And Xmart will start in P9. So the shorter grid here. NJ currently on provisional pole and looking for his second pole of the season. Can Phil or Dean get their first pole of the season? DJ Phil 9/10 off the back of NJ. And Dean Wasocki then 1.4 off the back, as here comes DJ Phil Green to cross the line and not improve that time around. Just looking at the time screen on my phone, Daniel Francis not green in sector 1, so that's a shame for him. I want to make sure he gets that a time on the board. Dean's gone to the pits. He can get out for one more run. I mean, I'm surprised to see Dean go to the pits. You'd have expected for him to stay out, and DJ Phil as well, both back to the pits. Someone is coming out the pit lane, and well, they're not going to get another lap in. 22 people watching, 19 likes. Guys, hit that thumbs up button. Get your tips in for a win. It's Dean Wasocki coming back out the pits. Well, unfortunately for Dean, that's his race over, and that's his qualifying over and done with, because he's not going to get another lap in at all. Daniel Francis rounding the final couple of corners here, then back on the power. He's purple through sector 1, he's purple through sector 2. This looks like a time that could be worthy of pole, and is a time that's worthy of pole. 0.8 of a second quicker than NJ then. And what a lap that is for Daniel Francis. That won't be beaten either, because Dean Wasocki will not get another lap in here. He's too far down the track. Unless he sets blistering speed here to get a lap in, he will not, and he spanned, so that will be qualifying done. He's gone back to the pits. Daniel Francis and the man out there. Is he going to try and go to beat his lap? DJ Phil Green will start third then, so Dean Wasocki down in fourth. Had the chance to be on the front row of the grid, but he's not got it now. Daniel Francis
as well.
Yeah. Oh, he's back out on track. I'm not sure why. Maybe a setup tweak for DJ Phil. That's Daniel Francis's third pole of the season. Now he's tied BT Targa on 3 poles, and 3 pole positions behind Xmart in the process. DJ Phil Green and Daniel Francis back into the pits. We have 20 seconds left of the session that are just going to count down. Nobody else is going to come out on track now, and that will be the session over. So Daniel Francis from NJ, from DJ Phil, from Dean Wasocki, from Smithy, from Fury, from Nicky, from KLF, Xmart and Stealth Soft. Daniel Francis coming out the pit lane. Is this just maybe to try something on a setup tweak for the race? No, because the qualifying session is over. Didn't get out the pits in time, but Daniel Francis then will take pole position here from NJ by 0.8 of a second, who was a couple of tenths, about just 9/10 of a second quicker than DJ Phil Green, who was half a second quicker than his teammates, who then further down the list, Smithy a bit further off of Dean's time, 1.5 seconds off of Dean, and then Fury the first of the non-qualifiers, Nicky, KLF, Xmart and Stealth Sloth. So we're going to get ready for the second race of tonight, the final race of tonight as well, and it's going to be an interesting one to see what's going to happen with the track limits on. You may see some red numbers coming up next to the drivers' names. That'll be for time penalties on the track limits. Obviously these guys are now under the scrutiny of the stewards from race 1 and are underneath the scrutiny of themselves here for race 2. The game will automatically give them a time penalty of what they feel is acceptable, and this could make or break some guys' race tonight. Daniel Francis could lead this race, but a couple of seconds penalty could put him down the order a little bit by the end of it. As an example, it could mean that someone like Kelly, if he was to finish 8th, could get promoted a couple of places due to track limits. It's just all stuff we're going to have to keep our eyes on as we await the start of the second race. Predictions, Liam?
Well, it's hard to put it past Fury and Xmart again. As long as they can get through the pack, it's hard to put it through there. But I mean, with Daniel Francis being on pole, I'm gonna have to say him, because he did show some pace.
Yeah.
In qualifying 1, the only difference is obviously being
the track limits. Daniel Francis could be a good shout for the race win, but it's like you say, it is hard to look past Fury and Xmart. Then we're all syncing up. All 10 drivers will start this race And we're going to go green for round 18 here. It's lights out and away we go, and it's a great start from Smithy and Dean Wasocki. NJ gets away well. Daniel Francis a little bogged down, but not as bad as he was in race 1. NJ already leads. Dean Wasocki's looking up the inside of Daniel as well, and Smithy may look to the outside. Eggsmart did not get off the line brilliantly at all. As Dean backs off, NJ then ducks into turn 1 all alone as Daniel drops off the back of the pace already, and Fury's got past Dean, so Dean must have backed out of that one early, side by side with his teammate then. So it's NJ from Daniel Francis. Smithy's up to third, and Fury already has gained a place up into fourth, looking for that third place already into turn 3. Smithy going the longer way around, and Daniel Francis tucks underneath NJ there. And does NJ have the first slowdown of the race as Fury and Smithy fly past him as well? But it's Daniel Francis who leads this one now. Dean now looking up the inside of NJ, just gives a little tap up the rear of NJ there, did Dean Wasocki, as they all get back on the power now, and it's away we go. Nicky's dropped down to last. DJ Phil and Self Sloth look like they was on the grass a bit further back, but Fury attacking Daniel Francis, who just slides his way into the double right-hander. That's allowed Fury up the inside. Daniel Francis though still fighting this one. On the outside he goes, and he's looking now to get up and nose up the inside, and cannot do that. Fury then in the lead of this one.
So hopefully Fury can actually keep it on the race lead this time.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to see.
Not trying to put any bad luck any of that way, by the way.
It is going to be an interesting one to see, Liam, as Dean Wasocki then is he just lost out to Smithy a little bit then, as NJ's got back ahead of Smithy. Dean down in 5th place so far. He's just ahead of KLF. X-Mart's just behind Kelly. Stelsloff, DJ Phil and Nicky all a bit further off the back here. Nicky 10 seconds already off the back of the pack. And as the guys come round to complete lap 1, no time penalties yet. So they've managed to get one lap done without cutting the track too much, where they've got themselves a time penalty.
Yeah, and that's how it should be.
And Fury here, Liam, has already gone, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, and it was kind of known. Like in race 1, he was obviously 18 seconds up the track from second, which was X-Mark. But then,
and there we go. Our first time penalty of the race goes the way of Stealth Sloth. So the time penalty given to Stealth Sloth. Nice one, Fury. Keep it going, says Fury's granddad in the chat. Dean all over the place is Kelly and X-Mark. And looks like Stealth Sloth's going to try and have a look. Stealth Sloth has got past Dean then, as he picks up the first time penalty of the race. Dean's already made a mistake in this one then, to lose a couple of places, and was 5th, now 8th.
So not the race Dean would be wanting at the moment. But there's still plenty of time to go, 17 laps.
Yeah, long way to go as of yet. Dan's got NJ gaining on the back of him. Couple of tenths separating these two, 6 tenths to be precise. Stealth Sloth trying to keep with the back of X-Mark, trying to pull away from Dean Wasocki. And he's actually dropping Dean Wasocki relatively quick down that straight, as if again suggesting that Dean's out for a Sunday drive here, because, I mean, there's just no urgency from Dean here. X-Mark then pressuring the back of KLF 900 in this second race. What can KLF do here? Can he keep X-Mark behind him? He said in his interview, Liam, didn't he? He's looking over his shoulder. And he's going to be looking over his shoulder at the man who's behind him in the championship, and now the man who's behind him on the track. And X-Mark keeping it very much nice along this circuit here. Stealth Sloth sticking with these two as well. And Dean has dropped back quite the margin. Stealth Sloth over half a lap there. He's dropped near enough over us. In fact, he's dropped over a second behind these two.
Yeah, and it's only been half a lap, so I can't get my head around what's happening with Dean tonight.
Yeah, just not got the pace, just doesn't seem on it at all at this moment in time. NJ has dropped back off the back of Daniel Francis a little bit. We're still with X-Mart and Kelly though. Is this the battle for 5th and 6th place at the minute? Smithy's just up the road from these two. He's being slowly dragged into this battle of KLF X-Mart. Stealth Sloth as well sticking with the back of these two, as Kelly had a little look there at Smithy. And X-Mart is now on the back of KLF, and he's going to pull out. NJ's just picked up a time penalty. Well said, Liam. X-Mart pulls out now to look around the outside of KLF into the double right-hander. Can't get that one done. And Kelly, great defensive driving. So 2 Porsches with a time penalty at the moment. KLF down the straight now. He's got Smithy right in his sight, but he's got that Mercedes, and look at the grunt of the Mercedes in a straight line. Really catching with the power of the Mercedes, Liam.
Yeah, it's just hard to see by now. Especially with the Mercedes being obviously how powerful it is.
Kelly trying to get on the back of Smithy. Quite some margin here, and NJ's gained on Daniel Francis a couple of attempts, but obviously has that time penalty to his name now. Fury only 2.5 seconds up the road here from Daniel Francis. Smithy then will go on to lap 4, still in P4. X-Mark cannot find a way past Kelly. And Kelly looks like he's just extended his gap a little bit. Stovsloff has dropped off the back, and I wonder what's happened to Stovsloff, because in the background he's been overtaken by Dean Wisocki. Nicky's got past DJ Phil. But what's happened to Stovsloff? I didn't see him go off or anything, Liam. I'm not sure if you did, but just looking back at the replay of my screen next to me,
maybe he's had a slowdown.
He's ran wide into the... has he? No, I'm not sure. I wonder if he got a bit of a wiggle on off the curb. He didn't touch the gravel, but either way, he's lost out then. I think he had a bit of a wiggle on the curb coming out the final corner. Kelly right on the back. He's back ahead of Dean already, so that's that one done. Stovsloff back ahead of Dean.
Oh.
X-Mark pulls out, has a look up the inside of the double right-hander on Kelly. Job done, nice manoeuvre. Kelly very aware of X-Mark's manoeuvre that he was about to pull off. Dean's trying to fight back at Stovsloff, you saw there, but Kelly now has lost out on X-Mark, and Smithy somehow managing to hang on to his P4 at the moment while these two are squabbling for positions. I must admit, Liam, in the week, I didn't say the Mercedes was that strong around here, but the Mercedes looks a good car.
Yeah, yeah, it does, to be fair. But it's the driver, because obviously, I know you obviously drive a mixed amount of cars during the week, whereas obviously people like Fury and whatnot will be just solid in their Mercedes.
As here comes Kelly then, trying to stick with X-Mark, but X-Mark in that slipstream of Smithy then, and has Smithy right where he wants him as they head towards turn 1. Can that Mercedes look up the inside? Smithy's defended the inside line already, and we can't quite see what's happening with the X-Mark-Smithy battle, and X-Mark still behind, and just has to go off the track there, and he might lose out. Oh! Oh! Goes to rejoin the circuit, and a bit of a tap with Kelly there, and I think X-Mark concedes the position to Kelly, but this in the background, look, has brought Stovsloff right into it, and I don't know what... Oh, Kelly's off! Oh. I think Kelly's got damage.
Oh, no.
I think Kelly's got damage there. There's his teammate. They made contact at Silverstone a few weeks ago. Dean's lost out to his teammate. He's now right... DJ Phil's now right on the back of his teammate. I think Kelly's got some damage here.
We'll see in a sec, because if we can get a better... It looks like his bumper's hanging off, but it doesn't look too bad, but...
but is it the aero damage? Is it the aero damage? Is he not... I mean, he took a knock on what looked to be the front wheel, so is it more suspension?
Yeah. Oh,
that's Nicky.
Nicky ran.
Oh, Nicky's lost it then, coming out the double right-hander, and that'll allow Dean and DJ Phil to sail past in the McLarens. And that's that job done. Can they get now on the back of Kelly, who we think may be suffering from some damage?
Yeah, like I was going to say, though, there's more, there's seeing it, and then there's actually feeling it.
Then there's driving it. Yeah, couldn't agree more with you there. Dean Wisocki last lap 5 seconds slower than the next slowest person on the track. Having a bit of a bad night, to say the least.
Here he is.
And let's not forget, these guys have had an extra week of practice for Le Mans. Let's not forget that one. So there's not really any excuses of, oh, I didn't get the time to practice, I didn't get this. The guys have had an extra week. You know what I mean? It's, you know, it's not been.
Yeah, and there's people like Peaceful, for example, who will only get like you on the night to be able to practice.
Yeah.
And he turns up and he's in the pro, so it's. I mean, as much as it differs from different people.
Oh,
Dean's on more of the time and everything.
Sorry to cut you off, Liam. Daniel Francis has the lead of this race. What has happened to Fury then? Daniel Francis leads by half a second. I've just looked at the chat. Nice one, Fury. Keep it going. Doing well, Fury and Dan. And Dan leads this race.
Oh.
So we're coming up to halfway stage. Zap 8 is the halfway mark of the race, and Daniel Francis is leading this one. That's an interesting turn up for the books then, isn't it? Fury then looking up the inside. Daniel has to give him the space and the room. Runs a bit wide. Can Daniel get the cut back? No, because Fury will be up the inside for the next corner. So Daniel then drops back down to second. NJ has got a big gap in third place in that Porsche, so a decent gap for Neil. As is Fury just struggling a little bit here. We're not seeing the pace of the laps in the first race then, so obviously the track limit's starting to take its toll, and you're just seeing the extent of how much people cut, because the times are nowhere near them times. KLF a 46.4 the last lap. That's obviously due to his few mistakes with the incident and stuff, but Nicky and KLF not where Team Prolapse wanted to be in terms of catching up for that that Constructors' Championship. Daniel Francis over a second quicker than Fury on the last lap. This could be Daniel's best shot at a podium here tonight in this second race. He's got a huge gap back to NJ of 4.1 seconds. Fury's already gapped down by 1 second, so Fury flying at the minute. NJ's now got 5 seconds to X-Mart. Smithy's only a couple of seconds behind X-Mart himself, so Smithy having a stellar night again here. And KLF hasn't pitted yet, but trying to stick with the back of Stealth Sloth as best he can, and he's got Dean just slowly creeping up to him. Dean must have found the full accelerator, Liam.
Must have found the rest of it.
Because the lap last time out for Dean, well, the lap last time out for Dean Wysocki was the third fastest on track last time. Sorry, fourth fastest last time around. So Dean must have found the rest of his accelerator pedal, and Stealth Sloth got a bit of a slide coming through the corner, managed to hang on to it. It says Porsche, Porsche, Porsche McLaren.
And Daniel Francis has also got a
time penalty. Just seen that one myself. Good shout there. Daniel Francis taking a few too many track limits then, and has picked himself up a time penalty. Track limit shows the men from the boys, says Gary. Dan has a penalty, says Fury's granddad. Liam's just picked that one up. Good spot though, boys. And that gap from Daniel Francis to Fury, Liam, is 3.8 seconds.
Yeah.
Dean's gone. Dean's had a spin.
Oh. Oh no, that's not Dean. There's Dean.
There's Dean.
He's flashing the lights.
What is he doing? Has he? Is DJ Phil? Is he DJ Phil rejoining? I wonder. KLF then in the pits at the end of lap 7. So Kelly into the pit lane, and I wonder if when Dean rejoined he tapped the back of his teammate. I tell you what, not what he wants to do. Oops, I think there be a few more, says Peaceful Stepdad. Well, we don't know to the extent of what the 3 drivers have got yet, but Dean now down into P9 and DJ Phil down into P8. The 2 McLarens are not having a great night. Smithy having a decent night, as is Daniel Francis. And here goes Stealth Sloth looking at the inside of Smithy. This is a battle that resumes on from race 1. Let's load the speedo up then. Let's keep an eye on the fuel loads here, and let's load the speedo up. Keep that one on then. Stealth Sloth really trying to get past Smithy. Stealth Sloth obviously has the penalty to his name. He's got 6.5 seconds back to Nicky and needs to make sure he makes up that time. Kelly's come out the pits and has lost a lot of ground to Dean Wysocki then, who's trying to get back ahead of his teammate. Fury's in the pits. Daniel Francis as well comes into the pits, so following the leader, if you will. And here is Stealth Sloth and Smithy yet again. So NJ inherits the race lead. Smithy and Stealth Sloth come out the final couple of corners. Oh, bit of a wiggle there for Stealth Sloth coming out the final corner. And I think Fury's got some damage repairing here. Oh no.
Oh.
Daniel Francis has jumped Fury in the pits, but the cars are interlocked, and that sorts itself out as Daniel Francis comes out the pits. So Daniel Francis has jumped Fury in the pits, but has that time penalty to his name. Nicky as well comes in. Daniel Francis then jumps Fury in P5 and 6. So NJX, Mark Smithy, Stealth Sloth, DJ Phil has now gapped Dean by about 0.6 of a second. Fury looking to the outside here. As Kelly gets himself back ahead of his teammate. As there's 2 people watching my private stream, guys, head over to SimPlay Motorsport YouTube channel. Phil's lost it. Just as you cut to him, Liam, you couldn't have timed that any better. Just as you cut to him, Phil then has a huge spin, and that's promoted Dean up into 7th place. And what a job for Dean Wysocki then, as he's got past his teammate. Can he now make another place? Fury ahead of Daniel Francis. So all the moves being made at the minute, everything is happening so far. But that was a huge spin, big incident as well, that. What damage will DJ Phil have? You'd imagine you're going to see Phil in the pit lane at the end of this lap, you'd imagine here, Liam.
Yeah, you would. But only time would tell. Only time would tell, obviously. He's coming near his end of his lap, so we'll find out in a second. But if not, then maybe it's just manageable.
Yeah. None of the 4 leaders come into the pits. The first man to make his stop is Fury. He's still out on track. Then Daniel Francis, he has pitted. Dean Wisoki's in 7th. He hasn't pitted yet. And he looks like he stays out on track. Kelly and Nicky both have pitted as well. And Kelly is gaining on the back of DJ Phil. Are we expecting DJ Phil to dive on into the pits? I believe he has. Yeah, he has. So DJ Phil comes in at the end of lap 9. Here's NJ looking for a way past Xmart. This was Xmart made a problem somewhere. Because NJ's managed to find himself on the back of the race leader here, but with a time penalty, so I want to make sure if he passes him, he pulls away from him as well. It's NJ just patient, waiting. As Nicky then passes DJ Phil. DJ Phil still in the pits. So the top 4, sorry, not the top 4, because Fury's now got Pasto Slough into 4th. The top 3, 5th place and 7th place still to pit then. As that was Xmart going a bit wide and off over the corner. That may be a slowdown to give time back. And NJ on the back of him here. And could we see NJ leading this race shortly? Both these two still to pit. As Xmart decides to dive into the pits. Yeah, end of lap 10. And Liam, I don't know about you, but just these little battles every now and again happen and keep popping up. DJ Phil is only just leaving the pits, Liam.
Oh, so DJ Phil was doing damage and there's still Slough in pits as well. So yeah, it short little bursts. The only problem is all these battles are all happening at the exact same time, so it's a bit harder to get onto them.
It is indeed. Fury has dropped Daniel Francis, but Daniel Francis is now ahead of Xmart, so that is another position for him in terms of he is technically net P2. But what we are seeing at the minute, and if Gary's watching he'll be loving this, is a Team Cool Runnings 1-2 at the minute with Smithy and NJ currently 1-2 on the track. And good going from Smithy and NJ at the minute. NJ, Smithy,
Smithy's off.
Bit of a wiggle there. I'm not sure what happened. Gets it back on and gets it pointing in the right direction. He's going to have Daniel Francis hunting him down all over the back of him already, look. Xmart's having a very long pit stop here. He's only just came out. Stealth Slough has jumped Xmart. So did Xmart have damage? Maybe a pit stop error or something like that? I'm not too sure. Is Daniel Francis going to look up the inside for a bit of a Dan dive, if you will? Smithy gives him the room and respect out wide. Smithy knows that's not his race. He knows that's not his fight. He's got to pit. And Daniel Francis up now into 3rd. Net 2nd place is Dan Francis, as he's only 13 seconds behind NJ, and NJ has still got to pit. As NJ, I do believe, is lapping DJ Phil further up the road. Yes, he is. And DJ Phil getting tapped around a little bit there from NJ. I'm not sure if DJ Phil knew that NJ's nose was up the inside there, but that'll be an interesting one if it gets taken to the stewards. So then, the only guys not to pit, Smithy, NJ and Dean Wisoki left to come into the pits then here. Dean 6 seconds behind this man Smithy on screen, who's had a solid night of points at the minute. Looking, he's hit the 100-point mark as well, so he's looking to increase that one a bit more. Got a P7 in race 1 and looks on for a top 5 here maybe. 4th at the minute. Got to make his pit stop though, so where will he feed out there? And NJ just has gapped Fury a little bit. Now Fury I think's got a slowdown penalty there, look, because look at how slow he's had to go through turn 3. That's allowed Daniel Francis back through. And is that going to allow Smithy through? Fury will not want Smithy to get through, seeing as Smithy's got to pit, and it doesn't, Liam. But a slowdown for Fury there, and took it mid-corner.
Yeah.
Cheers, Liam.
Sorry.
NJ then from Daniel Francis, from Fury, from Smithy, and then Dean. The leader, 4th and 5th place, have to pit still. And at the minute, we've only seen the 3 guys with the track limit so far and the time penalties to their name. Daniel Francis is technically now net first, but has that time penalty to his name, which is going to hurt him come the end of this one. As NJ now, at the end of lap 12, dives into the pits now. How is his stop going to be? Can he get in and out before these two come around? I wouldn't think so. It's a pretty long pit lane. DJ Phil unlaps himself. Fury runs a little wide there. I tell you what, that could possibly be a track limit. And just takes a bit too much curve there. And now him and Daniel Francis go at it. They're both going to sail past NJ, as will Smithy. Smithy still to pit though. Fury goes for that inside line. Daniel Francis gives him plenty of room. And that's job done if you're Fury. Just a bit of a lift as he came through there. Doesn't want to have a repeat of what happened in race 1. And Fury then back into the lead of this race. Daniel into 2nd. Smithy 3rd. Dean's up to 4th. But Dean has got to pit still. NJ dropping down the order due to his pit stop. It's a bit of a long one for NJ. Can he get out ahead of Stove Sloth and Exmart? Go on, lad, says Jamie Brazier. Or Jamie Brazier, as people call him. And at the minute, Liam, a prediction of Fury is coming true, but we both also gave a shout out to Daniel Francis.
Yeah, Daniel Francis. Now the only thing, and I've been thinking this for a little bit, that as much as Daniel Francis has got the time penalty instead of Fury, the only difference between these two, Fury, as far as I'm aware, Fury's not actually raced with us under track limits before,
no.
Whereas Daniel Francis has.
Yes, but what you've got to remember, brand new circuit. I'm sure Fury's raced in leagues where there's track limits and rules like that on, or not even in leagues, maybe just on normal servers where track limits are on. But Daniel Francis, brand new circuit, isn't it? Each track's different. I mean, I see where you're going with that one, Liam. I get where you're coming from with that one. But brand new track, so you've got to push the boundaries. And let's not forget, they've both just raced a race with track limits off. So the lines you was maybe taking in that first race and in practice all week have now changed. You've got to change your driving, haven't you, a little bit for this second race. Daniel then is about 20 seconds ahead of KLF, is the next car who's pitted, because Smithy and Dean still haven't been into the pits. So Daniel Francis here would need a monumental penalty to lose out on a podium, because he'd need 32 seconds to Stove Sloth, but Stove Sloth has a penalty, so he'd need 33 seconds to Exmart. And I can't see that one happening. NJ dropped to 8th after his pit stops. Can he get back ahead of Exmart and Stove Sloth for KLF? Stove Sloth's had a good showing tonight. Very good showing from Stove Sloth tonight.
Yeah, indeed.
Exmart gaining on the back of Stove Sloth. The MC Motorsport Porsche running solo tonight. Now Aidan Bennett. There's NJ in the background. DJ Phil away back. Nicky as well. He's away back. He's not had a race to remember. In fact, who's that on his own coming round the last corner? Is that? I believe that's Nicky, isn't it? At the final corner. Yeah, it's yes, Nicky there. Look, way back when. DJ Phil 15 seconds behind him. He's 29 off the back of NJ, and here's Exmart getting ever so close to Stove Sloth at the minute. Oh, now Daniel Francis has made a mistake somewhere, because he's had to come across the curb, and that has allowed Smithy then up the inside and into second place. Now Smithy has still got to pit. Oh, and he's lost the rear of the car. Oh, what a shame for Smithy, because he was driving so well. But is this a time now? Oh, he's lost it. He's lost it trying to get back on. Where's Dean Wasocki? I think Dean's also had a bit of a problem somewhere. And there goes Dean past Smithy. Then Smithy struggling to get that car back around. Kelly is a-coming, and surely Smithy's going to pull this one into the pit lane. Yeah, I think he has done. Indeed he has. So Smithy pits at the end of lap 14.
Yeah.
So it's only Dean Wasocki left to pit. I'm surprised we've not seen Dean in before now. But at the minute, Daniel Francis, then we said about his penalty to being monumentous, 20 seconds back to KLF. Well, that's quickly brought down to 14 seconds. Ariel Plowski, Don Productions, Clive sad face in the chat. I mean, Don, where have you been? Bud, you could have scored some good points in the Audi tonight. X-Mart, Stealth Sloth, side by side, coming to turn 1. And that's job done if you're the Mercedes driver. Up the inside, no problem. Oh! And Stealth Sloth has touched the curb that Fury touched in race 1 and has lost the rear of the car. So Stealth Sloth has now been passed by NJ. Where is Smithy coming out the pits? He's not yet out of them. He'll come out ahead of Nicky. He's just coming out now, look. So Smithy there. Who put oil on the track, said Smithy in the chat as he was coming out the pit lane. What a shame for Smithy then. He can now hunt down Stealth Sloth. He's raced well tonight as Smithy. And Dean now running on a podium, but needs to pit still. So he needs to make sure his pit stop is an absolute banger, because he's not going to want to lose any time in the pits. He's up on his delta through sector 1, you saw there, so he's setting a faster lap. 47.2 for these. We made a mistake on that last lap somewhere. Dean's got to pit. You'd think you're just getting nardy and everybody's pitted. Why haven't you gone in? Where have you been, Don, says Gary. Dean still deciding not to pit. Comes into that corner with too much speed and manages to actually get it round nice.
Oh, and he's round!
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
And now decides he's going to pit. Well, I mean... That's a bit naughty from Dean.
I was going to say, are you even allowed to do that?
Not really. That's
maybe something.
Yeah, maybe the stewards will have to look at that one at the end of the race. But Dean from X-Mart then, as X-Mart will get through now. Where will Dean be ahead of Smithy? They was quite close on track. Where is Smithy? Dean's away. So Dean's had a decent pit stop there and is going to lose out so many places because he had that spin at that final lap. He should have just dived into the pits. Why didn't he pit? He's going to come out well behind. In fact, no, he's not going to come out well behind Stealth Sloth. He's not going to be a million miles away. He's ahead of Smithy now. If he can stay with Stealth Sloth, with the penalty Stealth Sloth has got, he could be finding himself an extra place or two here. Because if he, depending on what NJ's got as well. Gary, where have you been, Don? Yeah, where has the Don been? As Stealth Sloth and NJ then, and Daniel Francis, still the only 3 with time penalties at the minute to be added at the end of this race. Dan Francis actually 2 seconds quicker, 2.5 seconds quicker than Fury on the last lap, but is 8 seconds behind here. As Fury's lapping DJ Phil and gets that one out over the way. DJ Phil, nice to see him finish this race. He'll actually score points for this one because he's got to the 3/4 distance and we're at that lap 17 mark. DJ Phil on lap 16. Come on, Kelly, says Bethany Andolphin in the chat. Kelly and X-Mark, they're lapping in the 39s. Fury down in the 38, so good lap from Fury that time around as he's making his way through the track. And Nicky's had a bad one in this race, hasn't he? He's had a bad one in this one.
Yeah, it's expected that a couple people might have had a bad one for this race, to be fair. It's just unfortunate that hammer has kind of fell onto Nicky.
Yeah, we said before the start of the night, Liam, that a lot of drivers who have been on this week, testing wise, and last week, have said that they don't really feel comfortable with this circuit. They're not feeling this track.
Yeah, and that's yeah. We'll just say yeah.
Yeah, Liam obviously lost for words then. Dean trying to stay to the back of Stealth Sloth as that gap is 3.7 seconds, so he's not able to stick to him quite as quick yet. Dean will be able to see the time penalty Stealth Sloth has got as well on his screen, so he'll know what he's got to get get near Stealth Sloth. But I mean, we said at the beginning of the night we expected the McLarens to look a bit decent tonight, and well, they haven't. DJ Phil's been parked up and now he's last. And Dean just looks like he's took dog on a walk. You know, a bit of a Sunday stroll through the park.
Yeah,
well, couple of men that's done well this second race. So we Fury, Kelly, X-Mark, they're back on the... They've had another good race. Daniel Francis, good second race. We've seen Smithy have a good race till his spin. Crack track, says Gary. I don't know if that's meant to be crap track or cracking track. Obviously, the way the tracks will be picked this year, no driver selection, no bingo machine. It's going to be the admins to pick the tracks for season 4. So myself... Oh, what is Fury... Oh, now... Fury's end... I'm not sure what's happened with Fury there, but it was as if something died on him, as if something had cut out. Because, like, I'm not sure what happened there, but either way, Fury, first place, but 6 seconds ahead of Daniel now. And Daniel will be hoping for a few more spins like that, maybe a bit of damage. Fury, though, looks like he's going to be 1 win behind Jamie Brazier's record of 12 for the season, but I mean, he's got that dreaded lap number 19 coming up. He is a lap ahead of DJ Phil, who looks like DJ Phil is starting to gain. Oh, Fury's wide again. Crack track. Cack. There's no R in it, man. Cack track. So, yeah, rubbish, basically.
Right, yeah. I was going to say.
There's no R in it. I need to get some new glasses, I reckon, because there's no R in that. It says cack track. So, Gary, not a fan of this. But Fury's just made a few mistakes this lap, and that gap's now down to 2.3 seconds now. The dreaded lap 19's coming up. We don't know what Daniel Francis's penalty is yet. Has Fury dropped it? Fury's dropped it again! Daniel leads this race. Now, is Fury struggling here? Because Daniel leads this race. Not sure what is happening, but at the minute, that race number 11 win is not coming for Fury. And so far, I mean, Fury's got to make sure he gets to the end of this race. He keeps making a few mistakes recently. He's got to get back on it. As Fury, Daniel Francis. A bit of a nudge between the two drivers there as Daniel Francis, I think, got a bit of a slowdown coming through turn 2. It looked like he got off the power, runs a little wide now into 3, and Fury comes back up the inside and gets that one done. Daniel tucks back in behind. A bit of a flash from Daniel there as well. As they're coming down towards the loops here, and the double right-hander. Fury leading this race. Daniel second, Kelly P3. Exmar in 4th, NJ 5th, Stovsloff 6th, Dean 10 seconds behind Stovsloff, so that time penalty that he wanted to stick to Stovsloff with, that one's gone. Smithy is close to Dean though and could possibly get another P7 here tonight. At the minute out, Fury looks like he's going to take that win number 11 here into the chicane. Get the chicane right. Fury does this time around. Nicely done from Fury then. So head down towards the next right-left part of the circuit. Driver of the day, get your vote in now. We'll get mine and Liam's in just at the end of the night. But Fury then, back-to-back second places. He's not taken a race win in 2 races, but it looks like he's going to win this one. Got a bit of a gap to Daniel Francis now, and it's going to be race win number 11. He's not far away from Jamie Brazier's record now. Daniel Francis, his first podium at SimPlay. We wait though for the time penalty. KLF has made sure that one look over the shoulder to Exmar has extended that little bit more then. And it's going to be podium number, I don't know how many he's had this season, but it's back-to-back third places for KLF. Exmar looks like he's going to take a 4th place after a win in the first one. NJ, can he hang on for that 5th? What's the gap to him and Stovsloff? 10 seconds, but Stovsloff has a time penalty himself. So depending on the severity of the 2 time penalties, NJ should keep hold of P5, and that really puts Team Cool Runnings ahead of Ready, Set, Go. 5th for NJ at the moment. Stovsloff, a 4th and a 6th. Good set of results tonight for Stovsloff. Now, depending on his time penalties, he's got 10 seconds back to Dean. So he crosses the line at P6. Then we go to Dean Wisocki, who looks like it's going to be 7th for him. Crosses the line 3.8 ahead of Smithy. No time penalty for Dean. Dean then finishes P7. Smithy then is going to come home for a good solid P8. DJ Phil has got past Nicky then. That is going to be for 9th place. I mean, there's plenty of time for Nicky to get past at the moment. Not the points that the Prolapse boys would have wanted in this second race, knowing that they could have really pulled some back on Fury and Argent and the Forever Forward Racing boys. The gap was 73. We'll see what it is. Then this, it looks like Nicky's going to just hold on for 10th place. I don't think he's got enough to get past DJ Phil here then. So that's the way that one's gone. Come on, Fury. Nice one, Fury. Are you watching on Orthodubs? Fury couldn't. You have given me a crumb, says Daniel Francis. Smithy, driver of the day. Haven't seen him cut the track once all night. Good drive, buddy. Smithy, driver of the day. Pleasure to race, says Daniel Francis as well. And fastest lap of this one goes the way of Fury once again. So Fury taking full points in that second race. Liam, let's get Daniel Francis in as well as trying to get Fury and KLF back in for an interview then to end the night. I'm just going to sort the tables out now. So we'll just wait for some more driver of the days to come through, as well as wait for the drivers to get in for their little chat at the end of the night. And the Drivers' Championship then looks like this. Fury leads the way, 116 points ahead of KLF. He needs to outscore KLF by 40 points to win the title. He's got to outscore Xmart by 4 points for Xmart to not be in the running anymore. Nicky then in P4. He's dropped off the back of Xmart quite a bit tonight, but has gapped Argent a little bit. NJ goes above Don Productions and BT Targa. Then Daniel Francis has gained some good points. There's 3 points off the back of BT. Excuse me, and it's 4 points off the back of Don and 5 off the back of NJ, so some good points there. DJ Phil Green and Dean Wasaki gaining some points as well up the table. Smithy now 5 points behind Dean. Stealth Sloth nearing that 100 point marker. He goes above Alfie, then as Aidan Bennett, and is only on 38. Alfie on 93. In terms of the Constructors' Championship, Forever Forward pulled 5 points ahead in that one of Team Prolapse from race 1 to race 2, so they gained 5 points there. Team Prolapse had second place. They're 100 points ahead of Team Prolapse. Team Cool Runnings 10 points now ahead of Ready Set Go. Piston Broke are up above Lone Wolf Motorsport by a couple of points. MC Motorsport just behind Lone Wolf Motorsport now by 9 points, and AA3D Printing bringing up the rear. We've got Fury and Daniel in. We've not got Kelly at the minute, so we'll start with Daniel. Daniel, your first ever podium. Good drive, mate.
Wow, jeez. That was just, I don't know. I decided to take a bit of a gamble and went to stable on the default for that race because the car was just so horrible.
Yeah, you said on the stream race 1 that the car was very twitchy. It looked a lot more stable this second race, and you managed to get that podium.
Yeah, just default stable. Just thought I'd do a Kelly and just try and keep on track. And yeah, I mean the track limits being on was a lot better. I only had a couple of slowdowns and one I just decided not to take.
Yeah.
I know Fury got quite a few, but watching what he was doing to get them, it was the game. It wasn't him. You know, it's just going slightly wide as you come out to the first chicane, which is the line.
Yeah.
So, you know, and then just that last lap, I don't know what happened to him there.
Yeah, you nearly had enough to get past him and maybe get that race win, but he didn't do it on the last lap. You've moved up the table a bit now. You're only a handful of points off of 3 drivers in front of you. 3 weeks left to go. Laguna Seca, what can you do there?
Well, I think we'll be cutting the corkscrew if you don't put track light limits on again. But it's a track which I've been on a bicycle.
Right.
So to say I know it, I do, but I think it's going to be a bit different in the Mercedes.
Well done tonight, mate. Good drive in that second race.
Thanks very much.
Well done. Kelly's just joined us, so we'll jump to Kelly. Kelly, third place in 2 races.
I'll take that.
Not a bad evening of points.
Not a bad evening of points at all. I'll take that.
How was that second race from you? Because you got a bit of damage. You had a bit of a collision with Xmart early on.
Yeah.
Did that seem to give you damage? Because it looked like you struggled. You went off not long after.
Yeah, I did. I did get damage with only minor on the front. It wasn't too bad. So I decided to pit early, coming up behind Smithy and Stealth Sloth, and it was just couldn't get past them. They were both me and Xmart were quicker than them, but couldn't get past them. So I opted to pit early, and just took my chances that I could outpace them, and it panned out.
Yeah, good set of points tonight. The championship's just slowly slipping away from yourself. But I mean,
as I said in the first interview, Matt, Fury's a distance. He's a dot in the distance now. I'm not focusing on him. I'm just focusing on trying to do the best job I can. Really, stay in the top 3 would be nice. My friend Xmart, as I said in the first interview, he had his hand on my shoulder. Well, his hand slipped a little bit in that race, so it swings and roundabouts, isn't it?
Swings and roundabouts indeed. And again, same question as what I asked Daniel. Laguna Seca, what can you do there?
Yeah, who knows? It's a good track. I think a lot of people like it. A lot of gravel, so it's going to really hurt people who go off at Laguna. Bring it on. I'm ready.
Well done, mate. Congrats on tonight. We'll see you next week. And we've got Fury in then, who has equalled He's one behind the equaling Jamie Brazy's record now. quite a few slowdowns, as Daniel was saying, and that wasn't technically your fault. It was just the game being the game. Was that the problem?
Kind of. But then the couple of spins and me going off was because for some reason I was braking into the corners and then my car engine was just cutting out.
Yeah, we went on board you towards the end of the race, and you just seemed to go in, and it was as if the engine just died, and then you sort of span.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the hell was going on. I was braking and then the engine just cut out at the same time. I'm not sure I got the engine button assigned to the brakes at the same time, but
you need to outscore Kelly now by 40 points to win the title. Is that one hand firmly glued on the trophy?
Is it?
Well. And just finally then, Laguna Seca next week. What can you do?
Hopefully get 2 wins and take it from Jamie Brazier.
Is that the more important goal here?
Yeah.
Well done tonight, mate. Well done to all the drivers. Liam, final thoughts from you and your driver of the day?
My driver of the day, I'm gonna have to give Daniel Francis a brilliant drive from him today. In race 2 mainly. But yeah, I'd have to give it to Daniel Francis.
Final thoughts?
Just my only thought for this week specifically is don't do track limits. It's not right, and stuff like this will probably keep happening if you do keep doing this. So just don't do that, guys.
Yep. Wise words as ever from Liam there. My driver of the day, I'm going to have to give it to Smithy. I think Smithy's been brilliant tonight. As does Daniel Francis, Gary as well. Peaceful Stepdad said Daniel for driver of the day. I'm just looking through the other chats there. So it looks like Smithy going to take driver of the day. But that's all we've got time for. Join us tomorrow night for the Pro Series round Le Mans Bugatti. Gary is looking a bit hot to take the championship lead here. But watch out for Jamie. Can unorthodox get back from a wedding in time to get in for the race? No D Biggs at all. No Liam, as well as they are both away for tomorrow night, but we'll be back.
Sweet Sticky in your box.
Sweet Sticky will be in your box once again. It's been a while. Join us Friday night as well for me and Jamie Brazier, taking you through the GTE action around Zolder. Can Unorthodox and the only G or Valeside get another race win? Can Fury, who had a cracking race last Friday, ruin their party and maybe chip in with a win as well? And then join us Monday night for the final round of the GT5s, where Liam and Jamie will be taking you through Knock Hill in the GT5 Ginetta race. Title on, 3 drivers, 5 points separate them. We'll see you though for that one. We'll see you tomorrow night. Take care. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
And we're clear.
Well. Second base was a bit better. Mate, I've got to check my bindings.
Exactly.
Right, I'm putting my laptop away, so I won't be on Football Manager tonight. What? I need to get it ready for when I go to Silverstone tomorrow. I'm waking up at about 7ish.
God, that'll kill you, won't it?
What, waking up at 7?
Yeah.
Yes, it does. I mean,
You
it told
even
you
know
now.
the second 7.
I mean,
I'll still not be up till midday.
that's when I don't wake up. I wake up at about midday.
God, what a life you boys have got, innit?
Yeah, but
I'm struggling to sleep at night at the minute with my back, Kelly.
Right.
I just don't sleep because I'm a teenager, so.
I don't know what I've done.
You're a teenager and a waster, so you can do it, can't you?
A what?
A waster?
What the fuck's that?
What does it sound like?
Ah, right, okay.
9, 17,
I mean, I get up at 9, but then I go back to sleep on the sofa.
yeah, I can't blame you, to be fair. I think that's what I'd do.
Hey Lee, pop that lead out the side of there and we'll stick it on here.
Do I want to take my little fan thing? Fuck off,
DJ Phil's drop score.
do I? Nah, fuck it, I won't take it in fact.
Oh no, it's gotta go up it.
Just means I need a bigger bag. Oi, I need a bigger bag. Fuck the boat.
Should have been.
Sorry, Matt.
Theory, great race.
Yeah, that was close.
BT scores 23 points as well. 'Cause that's his top score. So.
That track
BT had an horrendous, not BT, Xmart had an horrendous pit stop.
Yeah, it took him a while, didn't it?
Yeah, he was trying to do the glitch. Set it up wrong.
I may have done the glitch.
How did he do it? I tried doing it, but for some reason I had suspension damage, even though I didn't touch anyone. But
Used to come out glued together on the stream.
You could see it on mine. We were into the cockpit.
There's no glitch.
Can you warn me that Chinese?
There's no glitch. Watch my stream. I got a 1 second pit stop.
I got a 09 in the first one. 09 pit stop. That's how long my car was in the air.
In the GTE, is it illegal to use this pit glitch?
It's a glitch, mate. What do you want me to do about it?
It was a glitch. What can you do about it?
Gary's already said this glitch needs looking at because D-Biggs and Dan are getting away with it too often. It's like, well, what do you want me to do about it?
Yeah, prove it.
You know,
You had a really good pit stop. I didn't use a glitch.
No, you
So it's how you set.
Engine damage it fixed.
yeah, exactly.
It's how you set your pit stop up, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Second race, I had no damage, so I was up and down. Simple as that. Because stable, you just didn't burn the engine.
Anybody get near Dean tonight?
Get near him.
Yeah.
I passed him when he kind of went off track. He kind of rolled out of the.
He just seems so slow
fourth
tonight,
corner.
as if he was just taking the piss.
He's spun out in front of me. I was worried about passing him.
He's defo in for a penalty.
For what?
Span at the final corner, and then just fucking cut the chicane.
Oh yeah, I think.
Cut straight.